against the Reds, their third win in a row, thanks to a stellar start from George Kirby and a grand slam from Cal Raleigh. Two things we are watching for today, though. J.P. Crawford was a late scratch yesterday, and Julio was pulled from the game. Both are day-to-day. Meanwhile, Brendan Donovan is scheduled to make a rehab appearance for Everett today. First pitch scheduled for 7:05 p.m. We have a release date for Hard Knocks. The new season featuring the Super Bowl-winning Seahawks will air on HBO August 4th.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Cal Raleigh with the grand slam. A lot to talk about with the Mariners. We're going to hold off on getting to that for just one moment. And there's some new trade deadline stuff to talk about with Jeff Passan, who was on with Brock and Salk. That will begin with headline rewrites at 10:15, and we'll really dive in at 10:30. But Bump, we have to start with the Seahawks, who are days away from training camp. The first day is going to be Saturday. Mike McDonald scheduled to speak with reporters at 2:45 p.m. after practice. That's the first time, I'm guessing, we'll hear any updates about Nick Emenwari, who was placed on the active PUP list to start training camp. Now, you and I will hit the airwaves live from training camp on Monday, so we'll be able to react to everything Mike says and react to any of the news. But for right now, all we can do is speculate because we really don't know what this injury is for Emenwari. We don't know how much time he's going to miss. The only thing we'll clarify is that the PUP list that exists in training camp, the active PUP list, which is only available in training camp, you can be returned to practice from at any point. You don't have to wait 4 weeks. This isn't the same as starting the season on PUP. However, it does mean missing some time. So, Bump, I want to ask you what that means for this team, what it means for the defense, who the next man up is for the Seahawks. But also, it gives us a chance to go over something we don't really talk about when it comes to Seattle. And that's that one of the hardest things to replicate in a new NFL season is the injury luck and the health that you had the year before. The Seahawks were actually pretty fortunate there. So, again, this isn't to start it saying that they won't be, but it's to start it by saying, if they are not, how can they continue to move forward? How can they adapt? So, before we get to that, Bump, who's the next man up here with Emenwari out for the time being?
The thing with the Seahawks is that it's not necessarily the guy who's right behind them on the depth chart because of what they do with their safeties. They move guys around a lot. If we're going off the depth chart, I said it yesterday, I'm going to jack your name up again, Noah Ibingnoghini. I'm going to just call him Noah IG. Went to Auburn, was drafted in 2020, first-round pick, number 30 overall from Miami. You go off the depth chart, that's the guy that we're looking at. But you know how the Hawks do, man. They move guys around. You can see maybe Julian Neal sliding into that spot. He's a corner, but he's a big corner. You can see Ronnie Thomas sliding into that spot as well. So I couldn't tell you who the next guy up is, but I think there's going to be multiple guys in that position trying to kind of figure out, Mike McDonald trying to figure out what he can and can't do with those guys. So it's going to be a rotation for sure. I think you're going to see multiple names in that spot.
Okay, so that's the next man up, and obviously we're looking at just other names to emerge. Bud Clark, who's quite a bit smaller than Emenwari, isn't filling in for Nick Emenwari, but he is going to be a new name we're watching in that group. Like Bump said, it's not necessarily, well, who's going to do what Nick does, because no one else is really in that hybrid role, but it's who else steps up, who else can shine, what else can this defense do to learn and adapt. And that brings us to the next part of this. The Seahawks, according to Sports Info Solutions, lost the third fewest points in the NFL due to injury last season. Do you want to guess the team that lost the most points due to injury?
Niners.
Close. They're third with 200 total points missed due to injury.
Bengals.
They are rounding out the top 10. Number one, Arizona Cardinals. 266. Commanders, they lost Jaden Daniels off. They lost a ton of people, not just Jaden Daniels.
How you lose Joe Burrow and don't lose points like that?
Did they lose Terry for a minute, too, the Commanders?
Oh, no.
They lost basically everyone just constantly. But yeah, Cardinals led the league with 266 total points missed. Commanders, 49ers, Bills, and Dolphins. Those are the top 5. Now, you would expect that for all of those teams, there's a little bit of a regression to average in a good way, right? The 49ers, I would be shocked if they lost as many people due to injury. It would be rotten luck if they did, but I think that's why people look at them and go, God, I think they might have a better record. They were so unlucky there last year. Now, the opposite can also be true. Sometimes you can get really lucky with injury and then have a regression towards the mean of dealing with a few more injuries than you did last year. The Seahawks had the 3rd fewest points, just 75. Compare that to 266 for the Cardinals. 75.
When you say points, you're talking about offensive points. These are explain the measure. How are they doing this? Do you know?
I don't know.
We're just assigning points.
Yeah, this is from
okay.
this
It's
specific
based off
measurement.
of points per play. That metric.
Do they do an EPA?
Yes.
Expected points per play out or whatever. I don't know. They said total points per game over his previous 17 games multiplied by the number of games missed due to injury. Blah, blah, blah. It's up on sportsinfosolutions.com. Now, I will say this. There are 2 teams that fared even better than the Seahawks with injury. One of them was the Rams. So it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, and the Seahawks deserved this over the Rams. No, the Rams also got really lucky, and so did the Patriots. Not a coincidence that those were the 3 Final Four teams standing in the postseason, and that 2 of them, the Seahawks and Patriots, met in the Super Bowl. But Bump, how do you account for maybe not being as lucky this year?
You don't. You can't prepare for that. You just make sure that your backups are ready to go. Last year, we saw Ty Okada fill in. He was ready to go. A few years ago, we saw Josh Jobe kind of fill in, but then he automatically became that guy because of the way that he was playing. You can't really prepare for it, but you can at the same time. You can't bank on it, but you can prepare for it, right? Because we've seen teams have great injury luck and not have to replace a lot of guys, and some, like you mentioned, just drop like flies. You got to understand that's part of the game. That's where there's a depth chart, and that's why the 2s and the 3s always have to prepare as if they are going to play, because you never know when your number is going to be called. And you can't think about it. You can't go in and camp think, oh, my God, but what if he goes down? What if he goes down? This might be a blessing in disguise for the Seahawks with Nick not being available, put in the public, because now you got to try someone else out. Mike has to figure out a different way to manipulate this defense. So it's not always bad. And with Nick, man, I'm just hoping that it's just being cautious. Nothing too crazy. He's going to be our starter. Let's just make sure he's ready. He's had some ankle injuries, but he'll be all right.
And I'll say this. 2 of the top 4 teams who lost points due to injury were still in the postseason.
Yeah.
So you can still find a way to overcome it. Now, those 2 teams had incredible play from other parts of the roster. For instance, the Bills got a lot of amazing stuff offensively. They had one of the best run games in football. They got a lot from Josh Allen. They needed more from wide receivers. Their defense was really banged up. They lost some stars. They were horrible against the run. It simply wasn't good enough, but they got extra production elsewhere. Likewise with the 49ers, when they had no pass catchers that were healthy, they got extra production from Christian McCaffrey in the pass game. Where might that extra production come? If you're looking at the Seahawks, it's like, this guy's a candidate to break out in a way he didn't last year. And that can account for a team that may not have 1,800 from JSN, that may not be perfectly healthy. A nice breakout
Offensively, you got to look at A.J. Barner. I think most people feel like this is his year. I think last year he had an excellent year, too. If he were to duplicate last year, I wouldn't even be mad. But I think he's going to get better there. Offensively, again, Rashid Shaheed. You feel like he has an offseason with this team, with Sam Darnold, learning chemistry. You expect him to produce a bit more. And then maybe a guy like Torrey Horton, who was so efficient, man. Only a handful of catches, but he had a handful of touchdowns at the same time. Defensively, I think you're looking at a guy like Byron Murphy taking another step forward. A guy like D. Hall, now with Boye Mafe not being there, kind of showing that he can take a few more reps. Looking at Dante Fowler to see if he can contribute immediately. And then on the back end, I think you're looking for Spoon to have another year. Most of the names that you're going to rely on are guys who have already been doing it. There's only 1 or 2 guys, and I feel like it's mostly on the offensive side because I mentioned A.J. Barner, Rashid Shaheed, and then you have Price filling in for the Super Bowl MVP. Most of the, step into this role and do something right now will be offensively. Defensively, you have guys who I think will eventually step into roles and help out in Bud Clark and Julian Neal. So the sense of urgency for me when it comes to, all right, who needs to break out, has got to be on the O side.
Someone said of this measuring total points missed, in other words, another made-up metric by some nerd that's not quite grounded in reality. Well, I think that the attempt that they're doing here is to say, to look at total points missed, you're trying to look at teams that missed impactful starters, not just teams where it's like, they kept losing their backup running backs or they kept losing, like third-string guys. It's to look at teams where they lost big contributors. You lost your top wide receiver. You lost your quarterback. You lost your top tight end. You lost your edge rusher.
I feel that. I also feel the texter too. Like, what's it called again? The metric?
Well, no, it's not a specific metric. They just looked at total points missed and they calculated it by the injured player's total points over his previous 17 games.
Yeah. And
then averaged it out, where it's like, okay, if these are the number of points that he typically contributes, then we're going to assume he would have contributed this.
Okay. That's data for you. Football's getting more and more into that type of data. And some of it I appreciate. Some of it I'm just like, all right.
Well, can anyone disagree? I mean, Cardinals, Commanders.
But Cardinals weren't going to do nothing anyway.
Falcons. These are all teams that lost. Well, these are teams that lost either a major contributor or like a quarterback.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get
Bills lost like two of their best defenders.
Yeah,
and you saw it. And you saw that they were the worst run defense in football.
I think sometimes we I get the metric, but it's simple football. You don't have your guys, you're probably not going to be as good.
Exactly.
You have your guys, you're going to be good.
And I don't disagree at all. I think though that the reason that we're bringing you up in the first place is the Seahawks had their guys most of the time last year.
And you see them.
So did the Rams, by the way. This isn't to make some case that
And that's luck too.
Yeah.
You can't control injuries, man. I mean, Curtis blew his Achilles walking across the street. You know what I mean?
Like, Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah.
You just never know. Greenlaw just running out to join his defense. It's so unpredictable.
She broke her ankle taking the trash out. You got to, keep your head on a swivel out there.
Yeah. But you got to get lucky with that stuff. And if I was a betting man, I would say they're not going to have the same luck that they had last year. Even though they missed a lot of guys too, man. I mean, Kobe didn't play, J Love didn't play at some point. Nick started the season first game.
He missed.
He was banged up.
4.
Who else was out there? I mean, for the most part, you had your guys. For the most part.
Lastly, let's check in with what Brady Henderson, who covers the Seahawks for ESPN, had to say to Wyman and Bob about Nick's injury.
The sense I have gotten so far in my reporting is that, sounds like he's gonna miss some time during training camp, but it doesn't sound like this is something that's going to threaten his availability for the start of the regular season. I don't know that for sure. That's just kind of the impression that I got in my initial reporting.
We don't know what the injury is quite yet, but here's a bit more from Brady.
In terms of what it is, I will say this. I think it's notable that he was placed on PUP as opposed to NFI, and NFI is the non-football injury list. So the fact that he was not placed on NFI, that leads me to believe that this was some sort of pre-existing thing that he was dealing with. And we all know he was dealing with, or he did have to play through an ankle injury in the Super Bowl, that low right ankle sprain that he suffered 4 days before the game. Remember, it was that same ankle, I think different injury. I think that was a high ankle sprain that he suffered in the season opener. So he 2 different sprains of his right ankle, and I'm not quite in position to report exactly what it is, but I will say that it would not surprise me if this is related to his ankle.
It sounds like hinting it could be related to the ankle. Does that mess up what you're trying to do if you're Mike McDonald, you're prepping, you're trying to evolve the defense, add more stuff, add more wrinkles?
It does and it doesn't. I think it might help. I think it allows him to put other people in that position and see what you can do. As long as Nick Mawari was locked in mentally, I think he'll be fine. It does mess up the install. You go into day one, all right, this is what we're going to do. I'm sure Nick has his own packages of what Mike likes to do with him. So it does slow down the process when it comes to Nick and using him in different ways, but it also helps guys. It helps another guy step in and maybe get an opportunity he wouldn't get. Maybe a guy makes a team that normally wouldn't make it because he's third, and now he's getting second-team reps.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it that way, and I'm pretty sure that's the way Mike looks at it. He doesn't say, oh, my God, what are we going to do? Nick is going to be out. We got to take care of him. He's like, all right, Nick's out. Who's up? Let's see what we can do.
I do want to say something. I've had a couple people text about this, but I'm going to read the 360. Brock's on the trailer for Hard Knocks, wondering if Stacy's seen it yet. That news did reach my desk. I'm not happy about it.
That was one of the first things you told Bump and I entering the building today.
No, I'm really bothered by it. I get it? Sure. am I going to be shamelessly trying to get myself in front of the cameras? I've already got a whole plan. I told Bump I'm going to try passing out so that they can show that, like, oh, it's so hot at practice. Look at this reporter that just passed out. I'm going to try staging a fight. I'm going to try talking really loudly. I think I have a couple different approaches. We could stage something. We could stage.
I'm not going to be a part of this.
What do you mean?
This is all you.
What do you mean you're not going to be a part of this?
All you. I can't do it.
Remember when Brenna was featured in that Super Bowl special and they filmed our show, but it was the back of my head and it was zeroed in on Bump and Bump got to be like featured? I'm literally, what's the little one-eyed monster in Monsters Inc.?
Mike Wazowski.
I'm Mike Wazowski, constantly covered up by like the price tag on a DVD. That's me of this show. And that's not going to happen in Hard Knocks. I'm making it in front of those HBO cameras.
You get it. I support you 100%.
Thank you.
From like 4 feet away.
What do you mean? No, you need to lift me on your shoulders. You need to lift me on your shoulders. I need to be above the crowd. We need to find out where the cameras are going to be shooting and then be in the background.
I also still think about the time Thursday Night Football came and filmed you guys for their intro. And only Bump got featured in the intro to it, where Bump's just like, yeah, the Seahawks have a big game today. And Stacy's nowhere to be found.
No,
it was the Bump show that day.
It's the same thing where I'm just like, you can see the back of my head or like a little corner of my face, and they're like, get this girl out of the way. She's so annoying. The Mariners' 50 season celebration weekend is kicking off on August 7th, and Seattle Sports wants to send you and a friend to be part of the celebration. Better luck to you guys getting in front of the cameras. You'll get the chance to watch batting practice before gates open, then stick around for the game and the Alumni Home Run Derby. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app. We used to have it where you would open up the app and you click the win tab, but now there's an automatic pop-up, so you don't even have to look for it. If you don't already have the app, text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it, or you can just go to the App Store. It's free, and download it there. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, July 27th. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Cal Raleigh with a grand slam to blow things wide open last night against the Reds.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and destroyed. It's on its way. Upper deck just short. Going sail away. Grand slam. Cal Raleigh. He crushes it into space. A big blast for Cal. It is 7-0 Mariners.
What's the real headline?
Cal Raleigh and my Nona crushing meatballs. If anyone was wondering why Terry Francona decided to intentionally walk Canzone, avoid a lefty-lefty matchup, and try to get to the righty Cal, this is his explanation.
It's not a comfortable situation either way. Saying that, I do that every time. We have to try to keep them from scoring more. Second and third, a guy with a 990 OPS against lefties. We're going to have to play the infield in. I know what Raleigh's hitting, and I'm not, he still worries me. But I thought it was our best chance to have them not score. We could play the infield at double play depth, and the worst possible outcome happened.
I'm not mad at the explanation. It makes sense. And Canzone, it's significantly fewer ABs, obviously, but has actually been pretty good in those situations against lefties. But I'd be mad if I was Raleigh. That's so disrespectful. And I know he's over his last week hitting like under 100. So it's not great. Raleigh's got no one to look at but himself. But would you not feel disrespected to be like, are you kidding me?
If
You're
I was
walking
Cal
a lefty,
Raleigh, I would feel
matchup?
disrespected.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at what Cal Raleigh has been doing the past month or so, that's exactly what you have to do. There's the manager part of it, then there's the player. The manager's like, I'm playing these numbers. Cal is struggling right now. I still respect him, but Dom has been hitting lefties on like 27 ABs, but he's been hitting well against lefties. So let's go ahead and do this. So whatever it takes, Cal, for you to get that chip on your shoulder, you do it. They give you a curveball, you go yard, 102 exit velo. I was just so happy for Cal, man. I stood up and gave him 3 hard Rudy claps. I'm like, let's go, Cal. You do your thing. So hopefully this catapults him into a different place, but you got to take it day by day. And there was a clip, they panned to Luis Castillo, and he's talking to someone. Yeah. And he's shaking his finger like, oh, they tripping. I don't know why they would do that. Yeah, pointing at his head. Was like, nah. And you could tell how happy his teammates were for him.
Yeah.
Robles was going crazy. They know he's in a slump. He knows he's in a slump. And even the way he was going down the dugout with the trident, it felt different. He's like, okay,
Relief.
I'm on to something. And the swing was so smooth. It was a no-doubter. You knew as soon as it hit the bat, it was out of there.
That's the thing, too, is like, look, I know that everyone, including and probably especially Cal Raleigh, is really frustrated with Raleigh's season. It's been really disappointing. Anytime you just go like, oh, Raleigh sucks. Like, yeah, you're not saying anything he probably doesn't think about himself. But I didn't think it was a coincidence that so many people, you mentioned the dugout, people online, people everywhere, like seeing that is a sigh of relief because you know how important he is for the team.
Yeah.
I don't know that he fixes himself. Like, I really don't. It could just be one good moment that makes us feel good, and then you kind of have to turn to the rest of the team. But, like, it's a cool moment.
Well, that's exactly what I said I wanted from Cal. Give me some moments.
Just moments.
And then you can build off of those moments. So you had one. You might not have one tonight. And you just stay locked in, man. We need you.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey says his conference has talked about breaking away from the NCAA. Here was him yesterday at SEC Media Days.
So they're real. People have talked about that. They've opined about the frustrations that bring them to the point of saying we should look at something significantly different. I do not believe that is a leverage point. I think that's just honest communication.
What's the real headline?
The South wants to secede? That's so unlike them.
Never done in our history.
That's not.
It's brand new.
What are you guys talking about? What do you think about the SEC wanting to break away from the NCAA?
At first, I was just like, all the SEC, just trying to be different, think they're better than everyone else. And then I dug a little deeper. The reason why they want to is because of Protect College Sports Act. They don't like the bill. Reading into the bill, what they think is they don't want to pull media rights as a negative for them. They don't want to limit agent and athlete compensation, which I'm good with athlete compensation, not the agent. It allows the NCAA to make strict rules and transfer limits. They want kids to be able to bounce around and do whatever they want to do. NCAA can make some rules if they don't like it. And then it limits conference expansion. They want to make a super league. They want to do that. So the act is what really is getting these guys all up in a bunch because they want to be able to do things the way they want to do. They want to be able to pay these athletes whatever they want to. They want to be able to have these kids move around. They want to grow make a super conference. Then they want to be able to handle the media rights the way they want to. It makes sense. They want full control of the situation. It sounds like the SEC. And I think the NCAA is trying to add some structure to this whole thing, and they just don't like it. And if I am the SEC and I'm the Big Ten and I want to combine and have all these plans, I'm sure they sat down and talked about all this before. I have all these plans, then yes, I would be against this too and want to break off.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Nick Emenwari will start training camp on the PUP list. What's the real headline?
Hopefully he's on the pup list because he's got that dog in him.
That's exactly what that means.
That's what that means.
Someone asked me yesterday what the pup means. Like, are they talking about puppies? Like, legit asked me that question. I'm like, nah, it's
Wait, they said, are they talking about
they're
puppy
naive.
lists?
They don't know about sports. It was a real innocent question.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cute.
That's fine.
This is what it means.
It's innocent.
I think Nick has had ankle injuries. We just talked about that, and it's probably lingering. Once you roll your ankle a few times, that thing is loose. It just is what it is, man. I was telling my son that the other day. As he's had a few ankle injuries, I'm like, you got to take care of it. You got to tape it, treat it and do all that good stuff. So it's good they did it now because then he can be reinstated whenever he wants to. And I'm not stressing until we get about a week or two out and he's still not moving around.
Well, Cal Raleigh was able to give a boost to his own confidence with a grand slam last night. I don't know if Cal is fixed, if Cal's going to keep hitting, if he's going to keep delivering. But I do know that he's got a mentality and talked about a team mentality that really matters right now. That's coming up next.
Jeff Passan, every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
Brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers.
What can be the elixir to begin the second half for Cal Raleigh?
Just getting back to the basics. In his case, let's get the ball and play a little bit more. And a lot of this is swinging at pitches that he shouldn't be swinging at. Cal Raleigh will fix himself. I absolutely, firmly believe that.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Ask your Bryant dealer to maintain your current system or install an energy-efficient Evolution system. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. Whatever it takes. Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Let me take you back 104 years ago. The year is 1922. The president is Warren G. Harding. Insulin is a breakthrough diabetes treatment. Betty White is born, and Wayscar Ford opens in Auburn. I mean, think about that. The Ford Bronco Sport I'm driving is from a dealership that's been around for 104 years. How's that possible? Wayscar Ford is a model of consistency. And their secret, it's all about the people. Employees and customers, just like you and me. I'm looking at their core values, but they're more than words on paper. They mean it. They care. You know who I actually just texted with a question about the car? The guy I got it from at Wayscar Ford. He's awesome, and so is everyone, from the front desk all the way up to Way himself. Wayscar Ford is celebrating their 104th birthday in Auburn with exclusive deals for loyal customers. No payments for 104 days. Enter to win tickets. Go see them in person and be part of history. The Wayscarf Way. 104 years of service, trust, and community. Wayscarford.com.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
The countdown is on.
Just 4 days
until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Prior to the All-Star break, I should say during the All-Star break especially, Bump and I talked about what we desperately wanted to see from the Mariners. And while we obviously chose slugging, for Cal to turn it on, pitching to continue to be great, add a bullpen arm, all kinds of stuff, I think a lot of what we focused on was those intangible things. We wanted to see energy, good body language, good leadership. I will say this. I don't know that Cal Raleigh is going to suddenly turn it on. I don't know that Cal Raleigh's fixed, and I've got to wager that I don't think he's fixed. But I do think the energy bump shown from this team over the last 3 games especially has been so much better than it has been previously. And that's really important. Do you see that too?
Yeah. I see, you know, you have to take advantage of some poor play. And I think that's what they did last night for sure. I mean, the Reds were everywhere. It looked like they were kicking the ball to each other and throwing it in the dirt, spiking it. Like it was a lot going on yesterday, and they took advantage of it. But things like that can manufacture that energy.
Yeah.
You see the energy in the dugout and guys smiling and having fun. And it's it's at the expense of the Reds,
Sure.
but you still have to execute in those moments. You still got to beat out the play. You still have to take advantage of a curveball that's being hung out there. So, yeah, these are the type of things that can build some momentum and some energy, but it's about connecting all the dots. What are they, on a 3-game win streak right now? 3-game win streak. It's a good start.
That's a good way to say it. It's about where we're going to start from.
Yeah.
It's about looking for baby steps, for incremental improvements for a team that's been hovering around 500, that's been really disappointed. This is good. You don't have to go, oh, well, that was a meatball over the middle for Cal, or like, oh, well, the Reds had some errors or they whatever. Okay. A lot of home runs are mistakes. And also the Mariners have had a lot of errors that other teams benefit from. There were so many games where the Mariners just gave people runs via poorly placed pitches out of the bullpen from guys that you're like, why did we do this here? Or errors that shouldn't be there, or whatever. Like, this happens in baseball. It's nice to be on the other side of it where you're playing cleaner and you have better energy. And that's something Cal talked about after the game.
I feel like this group's in a good spot right now. I feel like the last 3 games, the energy has definitely been up. Hustling, doing the little things. I saw tonight a couple plays where, and even the other day, guys fumble the ball, running hard down the line, playing with energy in the field, and I know that's what we're capable of, and I think the game will reward you when you're playing it the right way. And
it's not just about Cal suddenly figuring it out. It's about Cal and a number of other guys contributing in ways that lift this team and make them feel like they can get this done. That's what's important.
It's belief. Belief is a powerful thing. Belief makes you play better than what you really are. As a team, it makes you perform better than what you really are. And it's something that you can feel too. You start looking around. I used to look around the huddle. It could tell if no one in the huddle thought we're going to win this game or finish a drive. And then you look around the huddle and it's like everyone's feeling. There's a vibe there. But you have to have the talent to do it. And that's the thing that I don't think we've ever doubted with this team is that they have the talent to manufacture this belief, but it takes a 4-3 win, a 6-3 win, an 8-0 win. It takes Logan sitting down 10. It takes Cole Young going yard in a couple of games. It takes Cal hitting a grand slam. Those are the things that bring the belief back. 'Cause I think they've always looked at each other and thought we're a good baseball team, but haven't really believed in their ability to perform just because of results.
Well, and think about those quotes that Cal had with Ryan Divish that you and I talked about the other day, with Cal saying, look, it's not just about trying hard. It's not just about thinking, oh, we're nice guys. We're going to work hard and we're going to get this done. You have to have something else.
Yeah.
You have to have an edge. And it's a belief in yourself, but it's also a fight. And it's a little bit of nastiness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's turning it on and keeping that pressure going. And that's, I think, what we've been able to see from the Mariners. Are we going to see that today? I don't know. Are we going to see it for the rest of the season? I don't know. But you start somewhere and build off of it. And speaking of, that's what Cal talked about when it came to his swing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, build off of good swings and good contact. And, thought I had a couple good ones yesterday. And, trying to build off of that and, trying to get it rolling.
I think he's pretty emotionally beat down this year, and I don't blame him. And I don't think that anyone needs to even say the most obvious thing, which is, well, he's earned that, or, well, everyone knows. This isn't Cal getting unlucky. This is Cal playing poorly. And I think some people think maybe like just broken this year, maybe not going to fix it, but he's going to be here. You don't have another option without Cal. So a Cal that's trying to figure it out, working on it, like Bump, you've been saying, making just some plays, some moments.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to carry the team. Have some moments. That was a moment. That might have to do for this year.
I remember when I muffed a punt in college. I muffed a punt, and I couldn't wait to get out there and just try to correct it. But after that muff punt, I didn't feel as natural, as confident anymore. I'm like, well, I've shown that I'm capable of putting this football on the ground. But then you catch a couple punts, you catch a couple passes, you start to believe again, and things start to feel different. Catching a football is a lot easier than hitting a baseball for sure. But I would assume that there's some of the same feels. Like feeling that ball, he probably didn't even feel the ball go off the bat. It was such in a sweet spot, it was hung, that thing was gone. But having that feeling and getting your system just to remember what you're capable of can lead to some things. I don't think Cal's going to come out today and go 3 for 4 and have a lights out day. But what we can look for is he just swinging at good pitches?
Yep.
Is he hitting the ball hard, even if it does, go right to the center fielder or whatnot? So it's more about his body and his mind being reminded of what he's capable of.
Well, and it's about the team being reminded what can happen for them. Bump, you can speak to this better than any of us can. Sometimes you need things to go your way to start to pick up that confidence. And not only that, but teams are more than just a general manager putting pieces of a puzzle together on paper.
Yep.
And for anyone that's looking at just Cal as, the bat isn't working, take him out, they don't understand the dynamics of a team. And you heard Ryan Rowland-Smith talking from the dugout in yesterday's broadcast going, man, the dugout was losing their minds. And you know why? It's not because everyone is like best friends forever and they think that Cal's suddenly fixed. It's because they know how important he is and they want everyone to succeed and they want a good clubhouse environment with energy and with fun, and you want to pick up people who are struggling. That matters. You can't just take him out when it's not working. That's not how chemistry works.
That's how teams that go through things have a lot of success. You can have a team that is just loaded with talent and they don't really have a lot of adversity. They do have moments, and that's fine. Those teams are built differently. But a team like the Mariners, going through stuff brings you closer, and you really figure out who you are as far as competitors. That's why I love the slow motion of seeing everyone so excited for Cal Raleigh. They're like, finally, our boy has done it. Even Randy waited for him and showed him some love. So with a team like the Mariners, when they are in these tough places, that's what they lean on, is just, all right, what type of character does this team have? Are we capable mentally and physically to pull ourselves out of this and take advantage of teams away? Teams are taking advantage of you. Like yesterday, if they wouldn't have won that game 5-0 or something, I would have been disappointed, because them Reds, man. Arroyo, what the heck you doing running home on Robles?
That was wild.
De La Cruz couldn't get Julio out at first. There was a lot of things going on for the Reds, so you had to take advantage.
Did you see Robles, by the way, going, what's this guy doing?
What's he thinking? It's like, come on, man.
Also, outfielder Victor Robles hanging over the wall to talk to the pen.
Yeah.
Victor Robles, when he's having fun and things are going great, objectively hilarious out there.
Yeah, it's funny. Guys are having, boys being boys. Guys having fun, man. You got to love it.
Oh, God. Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Luis Castillo starts against Reds ace righty Chase Burns. Going to be a tough one today. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up at 11, we've got NFL Network's Steve Wyche, who's going to help give us a preview of training camp. We've got some questions about Nick Emanwari. And then as a reminder, we're going all Mariners. We're going to kind of dive into some Seahawks stuff for the middle part of the show, but it's all Mariners from 1 to 2 today for the dugout. Shannon, Drayer getting things started at 1 p.m. We're sticking with the Mariners for just a little bit longer. Should they go for it at the trade deadline? Jeff Passan gives a blunt answer next.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field in just 4 days when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
And nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of the Super Bowl champs, Seattle Sports.
Are you squeezing every last bit out of your summer? Looking for a fun add to your itinerary? I have the perfect trip already planned out for you at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a whole weekend out of it. Here's what you got to do. Head up Friday and treat yourself to a delicious dinner at the steakhouse. On your way to dinner, become a free member of Reef Rewards. Allows you discount on gas, dining, hotel, and spa. Saturday morning, get you a tea time at Loomis Trails. Make sure you get there early and check out the range in the historic clubhouse. It is beautiful. After your round, you go to dinner at the Cantina or Red River Cafe before live entertainment. Now, Sunday is for the spa. Relax and recharge with a massage treatment and work out those knots and kinks and just unwind. Before you go home, plan your next trip at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Maybe for Crazy Train, Howie Mandel, Guns for Roses. All you got to do, take the I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
America's favorite car show returns to Puyallup. Cruise on out for the Good Guys 38th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest National. 3 huge days with over 3,000 classics from across the country. Check out the indoor car show and special areas. Vendor Midway Automotive Swap Meet, live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and more. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Details at good-guys.com.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work, every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm. We got you.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one.
the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cascade Machinery and Electric, family owned in the Pacific Northwest's industrial machinery expert for over 100 years, is hiring outside sales representatives in Alaska, Washington, and Oregon. If you're an experienced seller of industrial equipment, highly motivated, and can manage your own territory, this role is for you. The salary is competitive, commission uncapped, and benefits are great. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers and apply today. Cascade Machinery and Electric, powering the Pacific Northwest since 1918.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Clearance prices on masks, regulators, computers, fins, tanks, BCs, free photo and video seminars, free fitting, and incredible savings on a custom-fit dry suit. Big savings on advanced scuba classes. Underwater Sports' 50th Annual Divers Fair starts this Thursday at the North Seattle Underwater Sports Store, 107th and Aurora Avenue North. Don't miss the biggest scuba sale in America.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Should the Mariners go for it at the deadline? They're one game over 500. They have underwhelmed this season. Should they still go for it? Think of what your answer would be. Take 2 seconds and consider that Jeff Passan, earlier with Brock and Salk, didn't hesitate at all.
Yes, absolutely. And they went for it last year without really giving up a whole lot. I think it might cost more this year. But when you've had the run that they've had on drafting and developing guys, you can never rest on your laurels, but you got to take advantage of that. It's there for a reason, and that reason is to get the first ring in franchise history.
Bump, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you got to go. You have no choice.
What are we talking about here?
But going looks different than some years. Going this year might just be what you've been calling for, is just getting a reliever, right? Getting a guy. I've heard, I think I was listening to the show earlier today. I don't know if we're probably going to pay this cut or not. Let me see what we got. They even talked about, putting Kirby out there and seeing what the market will get you.
Yeah, I've got a couple here on that one. So here is Jeff Passan talking about packaging Kirby along with a top prospect, maybe trying to get someone like a top reliever. He's looking in this case at Mason Miller.
Let's put it this way. It at least gets you in the conversation. But the problem comes down to this. If Mason Miller's out there, everybody is going to want him.
Right.
I mean, everybody. So what's going to wind up happening, I think, is even if you were to start at Miller and at Kirby and Arroyo, the Yankees might come in with more.
So yeah, Kirby feels like one of your best weapons in terms of trying to trade someone, but it's going to be a tough market.
Yeah, I mean, because there isn't anyone really separating themselves right now, especially in the AL. The NL is a bit different. You got some top dogs up there. Everyone's going after the same guys. I mean, that's how it is every single year. But especially this year, because of just how the league is like just forming itself. In the AL, you got several teams who are still in the mix, even in the NL as well. And then is, what are you willing to give up? I heard the Kirby situation or conversation for the first time, and my initial reaction was, no, I wouldn't do that. But then I'm thinking, all right, well, what gets your team over the top? You can't just trade prospects. That's not going to happen. We thought about Luis Castillo. Has he shown the league enough for him to be attractive to get something like that? Probably not. So to get something, you got to give up something. And where do you have the most talent right now? It's got to be your arms. But that still scares me a bit because Kirby will look hot for 3 or 4 starts and then kind of simmer down a bit. And then you start thinking, all right, maybe throw him out there. Then he gets hot again and reminds you what the possibilities are. It's just such a tough position to be in because you're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't. If you make this move and you don't make it to the World Series, what were you doing? If you don't make a move, you don't make it to the World Series. What were you doing?
Sure. You're never promised an appearance in a World Series, and the one team that's never been to one should know that. In fact, you're never promised a trip to the playoffs. I know it's really annoying, but I like doing this every time. Curtis, how old were you in 2001?
I was 10.
And in 2022, when the Mariners returned to the playoffs, you were married with how many kids? 1 or 2 at the time?
22. We only had
just
one.
Willa. Okay, not 2 kids yet.
But I was 31 years old.
You guys can see what I'm talking about here. From age 10, Curtis not even in middle school, to 31 married with a kid. You are not. I kept saying that a lot when the Mariners broke the drought in 2022, and I have friends that I use as a stand-in as kind of the same thing. Curtis Works is a good example here because he's a bit younger than us and also married with kids, so it allows me to show that kind of change. But to hear anyone sit here and go, this year's a wash, it's just not going to work out. You know, you have to just focus on next year. Focus on next year. You might not be playing baseball for a chunk of next year. There might be a lockout. And outside of that, what do you mean focus on next year? You're never guaranteed. You are never promised a trip to the playoffs. The only thing to me, Bump, that makes this a tricky situation is not whether or not the Mariners should try to get someone, but who they can realistically get in a market without a lot of sellers, in a market that's really weird and will probably be underwhelming, kind of like league-wide. That's the question. It's not about whether or not they should make an effort. The idea of like, oh, well, you don't know that that's going to really get you anything. You never know that. And you know what? This is how weird the American League is. Today in New York, I promise you, in the Bronx on sports radio, they're talking about whether or not it's worth it to go trade for someone if Aaron Judge isn't coming back this year. That's how weird the American League is right now.
Next year ain't an option for a team like the Mariners.
No, thank you.
Next year is an option for if the Yankees just can't pull it together. They know they'll be good next year. The Dodgers don't see that happening. They don't get it together. Next year's for the teams with a lot of major league talent already on their roster, guys who have been all-stars already, and you know what you're going to get out of them. For the Mariners, when we talk about sense of urgency, we talked about it with the players, and it's kind of hard to see a sense of urgency. You kind of see effort, consistency, and all that stuff. Urgency, I think, is tougher in baseball because it's such a controlled kind of sport. But sense of urgency with the organization means that your name should at least be in the mix when we're talking about some of the top guys out there and you pursuing them. If you're not even mentioned with some of these names, even if we know you're not going to get it, right? We knew they weren't going to get Juan Soto, right? But pipe dream, put your name in the mix. You knew you weren't going to get Ohtani, but you know what? Put your name in the mix. That is a sense of urgency for the organization. Sometimes we don't get to feel the sense of urgency because their names aren't leaked, but we at least want to feel that it's out there. Now, we heard Jerry DiPolo talk, and he was talking about, like, look, it's going to happen from within pretty much. It's going to happen from within. At that time, what was that, like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago? I was like, all right, I can see that. I can see that. And what else did we say? Holler at us in a week or two because things might change. And things have changed for me a bit. I heard the Kirby conversation. Nah, I wouldn't do it. A few hours later, all right, I'll entertain it. Let me see what happens. Let's see what's out there. So you got to let this thing pan out. But the organization needs to have the sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're looking at teams kind of in the bottom of the National League. Who knows what you actually want from those rosters? But, like, everyone in the American League still kind of in it. Who knows if the Tigers are even going to trade Tarek Skubal? I thought that was just kind of like a done deal, absolutely going to happen. But they're, like, 4 games out of a third wild card spot now, which is, like, not something insurmountable. By the way, speaking of getting into that conversation, Mariners no longer in a wild card spot because they're in first place. What are we doing? This is instead needing to be a conversation about, like, who's actually there. Who can you actually get? Let's talk about actual names. And that is something we'll get to a bit later in the show. Talking Seahawks and training camp with NFL Network Steve Wyche next.
Jeff Passan every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
Brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers.
What can be the elixir to begin the second half for Cal Raleigh?
Just getting back to the basics. In his case, let's get the ball and play a little bit more. And a lot of this is swinging at pitches that he shouldn't be swinging at. Cal Raleigh will fix himself. I absolutely, firmly believe that.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Buc-ee's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Buc-ee's makes auto care simple. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence. Buc-ee's.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We share our used cars. So our used cars are open trade between any store. So the sales managers don't have a problem in saying, yes, that car's available, and then that person from Seattle can come to Kirkland, pick the car up and sell it. It's what's best for the customer at the end of the day.
The LJ way.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's figure out how to get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact. When you're all one team and you've got a great relationship, the other team comes over and helps that team, and then you as the customer don't see any difference in that experience. You're still getting the same service that you want and expect.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Inflation's up, insurance rates are up, so here's my question for you. Why are so many people still paying more than they have to?
Exactly. I took the First Mark Challenge, and it saved me thousands. Brock did it too.
Sure did. They compared my insurance with dozens of top-rated companies, found me better coverage, and I saved thousands. And the best part? It didn't cost me a penny.
That's what I love. First Mark works for you, not just one insurance company. They shop the big carriers to see if they can find you a better value.
And if they can, great. If they can't, you're out exactly nothing. No cost, no obligation. So honestly, why wouldn't you find out?
Plus, First Mark has world-class customer service. When you need help, you pick up the phone, you're talking to local, real people who actually know you, know your policy, not an 800 number halfway across the country.
More than 11,000 clients have already taken the First Mark Challenge.
You could be the next.
Before you renew, let First Mark review.
Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Take the First Mark Challenge today. You could be saving money with better coverage starting tomorrow.
firstmarkinsurance.com.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Saturday night, August 8th. A night of professional boxing, where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, August 8th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off our newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners took game one against the Reds, their third win in a row, thanks to a stellar start from George Kirby and a grand slam from Cal Raleigh. Two things we are watching for today, though. J.P. Crawford was a late scratch yesterday, and Julio was pulled from the game. Both are day-to-day. Meanwhile, Brendan Donovan is scheduled to make a rehab appearance for Everett today. First pitch scheduled for 7:05 p.m. We have a release date for Hard Knocks. The new season featuring the Super Bowl winning Seahawks will air on HBO August 4th.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Days away from the start of Seahawks training camp with some new injuries to keep an eye on, plenty of stars we're talking about, and new owners. Joined now for a preview with NFL Network Steve Wyche. Steve, how's it going?
Everything is going.
Hey, I wanted to ask you a quick question about the new ownership group. I apologize, it's a bit of a double barrel, but first, do you know anything about the new Seahawks owners? And secondly, we're waiting to see whether a couple additional contracts could get done. Do you know if teams typically hold off on kind of business protocols until the owners are official?
Really good questions. First off, I don't know much about owners. Typically, we don't. Especially since they've been in part of the minority ownership group of the 49ers. And I think the fact that, what we've seen, like David Tepper going with the 49ers, a former owner, minority owner with the Steelers, that the league looks at people who've got some type of experience of the NFL ownership process and how things go and things like that before they help ratify owners. So that's part of it. But your other questions are really good in terms of, does business usually get held up? As of right now, no. Typically, you haven't seen a lot of football business get distracted or held up because of an ownership change. We haven't seen many ownership changes, but I'm sure if the Seahawks want to get a Devin Witherspoon deal done, they'll get it done. That's probably something that's been discussed already. It wouldn't come as a surprise. And, hey, look, we want to spend this much cash this year and hold this much in escrow for future years. So it's probably something on the table, but you never know the actual dynamics. But typically, based on history, business still operates as usual.
Why do you think it's taking so long to get the deal done with Devin? Do you think they're waiting for ownership? Are they waiting to see what deals go down in the league when it comes to other DBs? Just why do you think it's taking so long?
You know what? That's a great question. I know both sides want to get a deal done. It could have something to do with the ownership change and again, how much upfront cash they want to give up. It's not the cap number, it's the cash. But I don't think so. I just think it's the sides kind of trying to continue to work, maybe seeing what other deals get done. But I think it's just the sides continue to push through. And a lot of times, and you see this around the league, deals don't get done, especially second contracts, until right before training camp. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's an accounting issue. I don't know if it's a tax issue. But a lot of times deals don't get done. Living here in Los Angeles, the Rams for years would get deals done like the week, a few days right before the start of training camp. And that could be what's happening in Seattle.
I'm convinced it's just something that deadlines do to our brains. Like, as a former writer, it didn't matter if I was in college or 10 plus years out of it. I was still like, well, let me take this up to midnight and get this over to the editor late. I don't know what it is. Deadlines make us work, but we go all the way to them.
This falls under the procrastination mantra, though. I don't think that's the case.
Very human.
So,
I wanted to ask about one of the injuries we've been talking about this week. Nick Emanwari placed on the PUP list. Now, unfortunately, we don't really know what it is. We aren't going to hear from Mike McDonald until Friday. But can you just not only speak to what he meant to this defense, and we're assuming that he'll eventually, be fine and be with the team, but what he meant to this defense, and then how the Seahawks kind of worked through a next man up mentality over the course of the season? Because Steve, as you know, they missed him and a couple other guys in a couple games.
Yeah, I mean, real good question again. I have been told by someone there it's not something that they're overly concerned with, so I don't think this is something that's, a surgical that's going to require something that's going to keep them out for a while. And remember, with this rule, at any point, because they declared him on the PUP now, at any point they can activate him once he's medically cleared. So he could come out the second day and be fine. But what he means, I mean, first off, let me say this. People there have told me, as great as he was, he still did not have a full grasp on everything that they're trying to do. So they expect him to be even better than he was last year. But what he means is he's somebody who gives them the ability to not have to substitute. A lot of times teams tip their coverages by having to shift from base defense to nickel defense because they've got Witherspoon and Eamon Warwick, two chameleon-type players who can play, in the terms of Witherspoon, outside corner, slot corner, a little bit of outside linebacker, and with Eamon Warwick, a little bit of safety outside linebacker, what they call the overhang defender, an outside responsibility edge defender. They can keep all 11 on the field. They can keep offenses guessing. And what Eamon Warwick did with his size and speed and his overall just instinct for the game, I mean, he's a game changer. He's going to be someone we're talking about as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
It's been a weird offseason for the Seahawks in the sense that, they haven't been getting a lot of attention. I don't mind it. I don't think they mind it either. It's all about the Rams, right? You make the moves that the Rams have made. Naturally, you get that type of attention. Have you ever seen a Super Bowl champion kind of fly under the radar like the Seahawks have this year?
Man, every time we talk about the Seahawks, it gets brought up. I mean, that's the chip they perpetually have on their shoulder. We're in the great Northwest. We're over here on a different galaxy than the rest of the universe. Nobody cares about us. They've been getting plenty of conversation. But again, because they're not necessarily in that major L.A., New York market, they feel slighted. But, it's hard to say. I mean, some people say the Chiefs didn't get this much attention. Like, everyone kind of holds that over their head except for the Patriots. Like, we're not getting the love that a Super Bowl champion can get. I'll tell you this right now. Speaking to folks with the Seahawks, be it players and executives, they love it. They love the fact, like, okay, count us out. It's just some more, fuel to the fire. And trust me, there's not one person in that building that is scared of the Rams. They're like, they can add whoever they want. They still got to come through us. So I like that edge that they have. And the fact that it's kept fresh by whatever they need to manufacture or whatever is real, I think is kind of cool.
Hey, speaking of the Rams, we keep hearing rumors about Aaron Donald coming back. And, Steve, it feels like those are going, yeah, I'm 10% sure. Oh, I'm 50% sure. Well, I'm pretty sure he's coming back. Like, I'm waiting for it to just finally be announced. What's your gut tell you about whether he comes back and whether he comes back for a full season?
It's weird because one day I'll be like, yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back. And the next day I'm like, yeah, but, I know AD. I've been around him for a long time, and he's one of these guys who he kind of goes for it. He's an all-or-nothing guy. And when he retired, he seemed like he's cool. He's happy in retirement. But the fact that he was doing on-field workouts, not just lifting weights, that's kind of – he's thinking about it. I don't know. Right now I'm 50-50. But if he does come back, I think he comes back at some point during training camp. He's, like I said, he's an all-in guy. He's not necessarily, okay, let me come in week 5 and get myself ready. If he's going to come in, he wants to be part of this whole process.
What do you think about the NFC West as a whole? Obviously, the Rams, the Niners, got the Seahawks, and the Cardinals are kind of like the stepbrother that no one wants to play with. Yet, I look at, some names on their roster, and they have some personnel over there. It's about putting it all together. How do you think this whole thing unfolds?
Arizona's always had personnel, and they haven't been able to put it together. I mean, their quarterback situation is what it is. I mean, Jacoby Brissett wants to get paid. Do they want to pay him? So it might be Gardner Minshew and Carson Beck getting the majority of snaps at quarterback. And when you're playing this division, that's just not going to get it done. So let's talk about the other 3. I still think Seattle is the favorite for some of the things we talked about. Like Nick Eamon, that defense, they're young. Those guys are young. They still got plenty to play for. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, they've got to stay healthy. But I think getting Jadarian Price in a running back, someone they're super excited about because he's a natural for the scheme, is something that puts them on top. And then the Rams, they're loaded. The Niners, I'm real interested to see. It seems on paper they're back. Kittle's healthy, Fred Warner's back, Nick Bosa's back from injury, but can they stay healthy? With them, as we know, it is always a situation of durability with their players. And if they stay healthy, they're going to be a pain. They've got enough talent. How will Mike Evans help this offense? So real intriguing. I just know what the Niners, the thing I'm looking at mostly with them, look at the amount of touches that Christian McCaffrey had last year. It was a ton. Can they put that much on his plate again? Because he really, really carried them to a lot of the adversity they had to go through last year.
Bump, are you going to be mad if I ask Steve the debate that we've been having?
Go for it. I don't know.
He's staring me down. He said Christian McCaffrey. My mind naturally went because he's such a versatile. Why don't you introduce
it? It's an unpopular opinion, but I think it's going to go down. But the way she asked the question, she gives no context to what I said.
Okay, why don't you do it?
No
you
context.
Can give the context.
It's ridiculous, Steve, honestly.
No, I got it.
The question is, I said in 5 years we'll see a running back get MVP. She says no. She even said a receiver will get one before a running back, which I think is absolutely nuts. I think we'll see running backs because of the Bajans, the Gibbs, the rushing 4,000, receiving over 1,000 touchdowns. So I say we'll see when she says no, she put a receiver before a running back.
It will be a running back before a receiver because trust me, I've made the arguments for receivers before, and the counter argument is always, but who threw him the ball?
Yeah,
that's our argument,
right? And he's only getting 7 of the catches that the guy who threw it 35 times threw. So it always will tilt to the quarterback. So I would pull a running back before a quarterback when it comes to that argument.
This is my thing on the running back thing. I know that we didn't bring you on. We brought you on to talk about the Seahawks, but it's interesting because you know a ton, so it's fun to be able to talk to you about it. This is my thing about the running back, is that I feel like sometimes our definition of what makes a great fill in the blank, cornerback, edge rusher, running back, is always a little bit more dated than how they're being used so effectively now. So, like, for instance, there's still a guy where if a corner had 7, 8, 9 interceptions in a season, we'd be like, oh my God, he's the absolute best. And then you look at some of the top paid corners, you've got Trent McDuffie, you're soon to be getting Devin Witherspoon. These are not guys that get a ton of interceptions because the way that elite corners have played is changing a little bit. Likewise, I think that if there's a running back that's going to get almost 1,000 rushing yards and almost 1,000 receiving yards, while that's absolutely amazing, he's not going to be the number one rushing yard leader in the league. And I think that we might still be looking at running back effectiveness in like a slightly dated way. What do you think about that?
I'm going to push back on that one because I think as fans, as media, whatever, we're kind of getting more in line with the analytics of how the game is played. Right? If we look at someone like, if we took Roger Craig's stats from the 90s and put him in today's game, we'd be like, not only was he carrying the ball 25 times a game and catching it 4 times a game and scoring 2 touchdowns a game, he's also picking up 250-pound edge rushers on pass protection, things like that. So, I think we're looking at the game a little bit more current than you're giving us credit for. I know the fantasy football statistical people like, he only had 1,200 rushing yards. Well, look at the receiving yards and look at everything else he's being asked to do. Even in a game where teams are throwing it 30 times a game, I don't think it's quite as antiquated as you're kind of stocking it up to be.
All right, well, Bump, you might have won this time.
I swear, Steve, every interview we have, this is going to be it.
I like this conversation. I really like it.
It's good conversation, though.
Yeah.
It's really good.
See, but
I'm sure someone's going to
thing is,
take what I said and be like, this is crazy.
She asks you because she thinks you're going to agree with her.
No.
So then when we get off air, she'll be like, oh, I'm the analyst here.
I ask when we have analysts on because you guys are so smart and it's fun to have. I just poke fun at Bump and disagree with him the way that any family member would, where I'm like, you're not right. And then I have to think of the reason later. I wanted to ask you
it's my turn. See,
yeah.
she's already she's doing what she does, Steve. Hey, are you bought into the Josh Allen is now the best quarterback in the league narrative?
Ooh. It's always hard for me to go against Patrick Mahomes.
It is.
Josh is definitely, 1A, 1B, 1C. My 2 killer quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Both of whom have had injuries. But Mahomes just has to do so much for the Chiefs. Never had a great running game. Really hasn't had a consistent elite receiver since Tyreek Hill. But neither has Josh Allen, but he's got one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL. And Joe Burrow's having to score 38 points a game, and he's still taking L's. So those are my guys. But Josh Allen's right there.
You mentioned that run game. I know we're not technically talking about the Seahawks now, but we kind of have our eyes on Ken Walker. How do you think he's going to fare in Kansas City?
Good. I think he's going to fare really well because when Andy Reid does what he loves to do with his tailbacks, let's go back to the Eagles or the early Kareem Hunt days in Kansas City. He's only running them 20 times a game. He's throwing 5 or 6 passes to him. Think of Brian Westbrook and guys like that in Philly. That's what Kenneth Walker showed me he could do, especially at the tail end of last season. Get those swing passes, things like that. I think he's going to do really, really well, especially because he's still 15 is still garnering all the attention. So Ken Walker's going to be just fine.
How do you think Reek Woolen is going to do in Philly? I'm concerned, man. I think that he has all the physical talents at the corner spot. I think he's dynamic, but that Philly crowd is something else. I mean, it's not like Seattle.
It's just slightly different.
I thought you were like, oh, they play a scheme that he doesn't fit into. Philly crowd is a Philly crowd, man. You play well. They're the best fans in the world. You don't, it's going to be tough, and that's a moment to moment thing. He's built for it. I mean, I don't know him well enough to see if he's going to have a panic attack or flip out if the fans boo him for a game if he gets beat. But like you said, he's a dynamic player. And if they use him properly in that scheme, which they will, I think he's got a chance to be a dynamic player. I mean, he's got a good secondary, good pass rushes in front of him. I think Reek Woolen's going to be just fine.
Yeah, he's certainly a rare talent. Even when he was a rookie here, he just stood out on the field. He's a really intriguing guy.
Speed, you can't replace it.
Yep. He is NFL Network Steve Wyche, kind enough to join us. Steve, thanks for humoring us. We had fun.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, guys, take care.
Have a good one. The Mariners' 50 season celebration weekend is kicking off August 7th, and Seattle Sports wants to send you and a friend to be part of the celebration. You'll get the chance to watch batting practice before the gates open, then stick around for the game and the Alumni Home Run Derby. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app. If you don't already have the app, simply text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we will send you a link to download. You can also download it free wherever you get your apps. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, July 27. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What should people learn about some ESPN layoffs?
I think some of these, or a couple of these layoffs, are ones that I really care about. They're deep. And Ryan Clark being laid off. You remember that time where he went at Peter Strager, I think his name is? Mm-hmm. Peter had a comment about football or something like that. And Ryan Clark pretty much said, look, you never play, so you don't really know what you're talking about in this aspect. And even if he was right, even if he felt that way, it's about connections. And Peter is tight with the people who make decisions over there at ESPN. So word on the street is that kind of rubbed those people the wrong way. You get the boot. Also, Cam Newton, he did an interview with Jason Whitlock. ESPN does not rock with Jason Whitlock. He did it on his own podcast. Those two situations are just examples of that. You got to be able to read that room, man. If you're working with someone professionally, even if you feel like this isn't the area of their expertise, you still got to give them room to say what they have to say. And you could respectfully disagree without disrespecting the person himself or herself. And that's where Ryan jacked up. I remember as soon as he did it,
you felt it.
Oh no! And Peter's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, he's tight with agents, with GMs,
you gotta understand
with coaches.
who you're dealing with. And with Cam, I'm like, that's ESPN don't mess with Jason Whitlock. So those are the two that stood out to me, and I knew exactly why they got let go as soon as I saw. So just read your room, understand relationships. Doesn't mean you have to be fake.
No.
But you have to understand the powers that be and how they operate.
Well, it's how you approach it. It's just, look, I'm going to say this from a player point of view. I know what you're talking about as someone who's connected, as someone who's entitled to an opinion. I totally get it. As a player, this wouldn't fly with me. Like, there are ways to introduce your opinion without being like, nothing you said matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Second down. Who would you like to see get more reps in Nick Emanwari's spot, and why?
So Nick Emanwari is a dynamic player. 6'3", 220 pounds. He don't even look 220. He looks thinner than that, but 6'3", 220. He can play in the box, walk him up to the line of scrimmage. Can play in the back, in the defensive backfield with coverage and all that good stuff. But I want to see Julian Neal. And the reason why I want to see Julian Neal, a little smaller than him, 6'2", 203. But if you watch Julian Neal at Arkansas, he plays downhill. He wants to hit you, and I feel like he has the aggression to handle all the chaos that goes on in the box. Also, he plays DB. He can play the back. He can cover the hook to curl to flat, play deep, one-on-one, all that good stuff. I mentioned that there's going to be a rotation at that spot, I believe, because I don't think one person can mimic what Nick Amore does. But when I've watched the film with Julian Neal, he brings that same type of aggression, and he might be even better in coverage. We spoke to, or we did a segment and played some clips, and they were talking about how Nick isn't the greatest when it comes to coverage. He ain't bad, but that's obviously not his strong point. So you would replace some physicality and some size in the box for better coverage. I think Julian Neal should be in that mix because of what he brings to the table physically.
Third down. What quarterback needs to reestablish himself this year?
He doesn't, and he does at the same time. My dude Joe Burrow needs to just have one of those seasons again. Last year, only played 10 games. Then he put together a nice season the year before. Then he only played a few games the following year. It's just remind people, you got a defense over there. There's no more excuses. You got Dexter Lawrence. You got Boye Mafe. I don't say reestablish like you forgot about him, but remind people, I'm one of the best. I'm one of the best in the game, and now I have help defensively. But you got to get through the season healthy. 2 out of the last 3 seasons, he just hasn't been healthy, and a lot of that is luck. But Joe Burrow, man, go out there and remind people why you are who you are. You got offensive weapons. You got defensive help. Is it going to be enough? We'll find out pretty soon. But I'm looking forward to seeing Joe Burrow go out there and be the guy I know he can be.
I can see that point. For a minute there, I was like, wait, oh, yeah. Like, you've clearly established yourself. You were well into the top 5 of ESPN's top 10 quarterback rankings, right? And those are from GMs and scouts and coordinators from around the league. Like, people within football respect you, but you're right. You need to remind people because you've been missing some time. It's kind of like Justin Herbert, where it's like slightly different, but like he hasn't gotten that many chances to really prove that the reputation still stands. And it's like the reputation is there and almost cemented for Burrow. But when I think of Joe Burrow, I think of him sitting on the ground grabbing his knee.
Or pouting on the sideline saying he's not having fun.
Yeah. Or maybe walking a runway in Paris. I don't know. 4th down.
Leather jacket, no shirt.
Who do you want to see shine this preseason?
I just want the rookies to do what they do. I don't know how. It's different with rookies because say a rookie like Bud Clark, that's who I'm focusing on. Maybe he does so much within the first week or 2 of camp that he's not going to get these reps during the preseason games, and we want to see him there. So I'm going to be leaning on Dave Wyman and Steve Rabel, who are going to be at these joint practices, and ask them, what is Bud Clark doing? Because if you can get Nick played 1,000 snaps last year, if you can get 500 snaps out of Bud Clark, then I think you're doing something right. And it also means that secondary is being moved around because you know Spoon can play inside and outside. I think Bud Clark can play over the top. If you got to walk him down in the box to blitz him, you can do that. But I want to see Bud Clark really shine during the preseason. It might be during joint practices because he could have that type of training camp to where he's established. But I want to see it. I think that could be the secret weapon with this. I know Julian Neal, I mentioned, is going to, or should. I want him to play more of the Nick Amore role because he's not available. But Bud Clark, so I'm leaning on those two rookies, Bud Clark, Julian Neal. Have a good preseason.
What kind of role does Clark occupy? Because he's smaller than, like, he's a little, I don't want to say undersized per se, but there's quite a bit of difference, like you mentioned, between the size of Imanwari and Clark. And I think that maybe there are some people going, oh, well, you know, you have these young guys, plug them in, but they kind of play unique roles.
Bud is more of a over-the-top type of safety.
Why? He's a ball hawk.
Yeah, he can play in the box. We've seen a guy who's smaller than him play in the box and make plays, in Devin Witherspoon. But it's about the attitude and the grit. In college, Bud Clark and Julian Neal both had that attitude and grit. Is that going to transfer over to the NFL game? I think it will to some extent. But a lot of times, you got to tweak your game a little bit because the level of competition is up a bit. That's why I'm so excited to see what the secondary does, because it's a versatile secondary when everyone is healthy.
SEC is trying to break away from the NCAA. More on that coming up next.
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw this Wyman and Bob digital exclusive first.
Leonard Williams, he's in the final year of his deal. Can you pay him somewhere around top of the market?
He's still absolutely at the top of his game. I don't see any kind of drop-off as far as his age goes going into his 12th year.
Beyond who he is on the field, who he is in that locker room, he's just such a leader and a presence.
The home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
Let me take you back 104 years ago. The year is 1922. The president is Warren G. Harding. Insulin is at the time of breakthrough diabetes treatment. Betty White was born, and Wayscar Ford opens up in Auburn. I mean, think about that. The Bronco I'm driving right now is from a dealership that's been around for 104 years. How's that even possible? Well, Wayscar Ford is a model of consistency, and their secret, it's all about the people, employees and customers, just like you and me. I'm looking at their core values now, but they're more than just words on paper. They mean it. They care. To this day, when I've got a question about my Bronco, I text the guy I got it from. His name's Chris, and him and the entire team there are wonderful and so easy to work with. Wayscar Ford is celebrating their 104th birthday in Auburn with exclusive deals for loyal customers, and they want you to celebrate too with no payments for 104 days. Enter to win tickets, go see them in person, and be part of history. The Wayscar Way, 104 years of service, trust, and community. WayscarFord.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Clearance prices on masks, regulators, computers, fins, tanks, BCs, free photo and video seminars, free fitting, and incredible savings on a custom-fit dry suit. Big savings on advanced scuba classes. Underwater Sports' 50th Annual Divers Fair starts this Thursday at the North Seattle Underwater Sports Store, 107th and Aurora Avenue North. Don't miss the biggest scuba sale in America.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Just 4 days
until training camp for the Super Bowl champs. And nobody has it covered like the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy. Leading it off, it's not just SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey considering a breakaway from the NCAA. Someone, by the way, listener Julio said, he's just kind of answering honestly about issues with the NCAA on sports radio. But Sankey's actually doubled down on that, saying it's actually a very real thing that he thinks. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart also sounding off. He said he's been pounding the table about the SEC breaking away.
Yeah, I've actually been saying that for a long time to our president and our administrators that, my frustration is I sit in a meeting and so many times I sit in a meeting, and I learned this, I think 11 years ago, my first SEC head coaches meeting. I had a coach tell me, we will not get anything done in these meetings because we don't have any power or any control. We sit and say what we want, but that doesn't necessarily come to fruition. So I've learned that, until we get governance and we have someone that actually has the power to make decisions, or we can make decisions within our own community, we're not going to have much control. And that's unfortunate, but that's where we sit right now. And if that's the best alternative to get everybody playing by the same rules, then I would want to do that.
Bump, I think it's fair to wonder, okay, is this just some leverage play? Is this just something to try to get something you want? But it certainly sounds like it's very, very real.
It's funny to hear him say to get everyone to play by the same rules. Because universities like Georgia and Bama and the top dogs in the sport, they play by different rules than everybody else.
Uh-huh.
Why? Because you have the brand recognition. You have alumni who care only about football and a fan base that will support you no matter what. So technically, they are playing by the same rules. Their rules are different, and it's earned. I mean, a small university is not going to have the alumni, not going to have of the support that a big university has, especially if they're not winning national championships. But I wouldn't have used that to describe why he wants to separate, because their rules are way better than ours, for sure.
What's a simpler way to explain to someone on the outside looking in what the SEC is frustrated by and how this benefits them?
It comes down to money. They want to be able to control the media, right? They want to be able to control how much players get paid. They want to be able to control how much agents get paid. I don't think they like the 5-year rule. When you turn 19, you got 5 years, because they're the type of universities that just stockpile talent and redshirt them and gray shirt them, and then your 5-star Heisman Trophy guy graduates. Don't worry, we got a 22-year-old who's only played 3 years who's ready to go. It's just they have been able to take advantage of the old rules for so long that now that things are kind of evening out a bit, for as much as it can be even out, because there are always going to be tiers to this, they just don't like it. And you know what the unfortunate part is, or maybe fortunate for them, they have the influence and the brands to do it. If they combine, they're trying to get the Big Ten hopping on this too.
I was going to ask, where does the Big Ten come into play? Is this to get away from them or to compete with them, or is this to partner with them?
It could. I think it's to take if you look at the two best conferences in college football,
right,
it's the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yep.
And I think that they feel like if they were to move off and do their own thing, they would have more control. And they're right. I mean, who's won the national championship the last 3 years? It's been the Big Ten. Before that, it's been the SEC. So I think they're looking at trying to combine and form a super conference. And if they were to do that, they have a lot of control. And if I were an SEC enthusiast and lived down there and supported them, I would probably be with this too, because those are the two best conferences in college football.
Next up, out of college football and into the NFL, though it's a player's personal life. A cool sight to see. Aaron Rodgers posted a series of photos to his Instagram account on Monday night showing him reuniting with his parents after being estranged from his family for many, many years. In fact, Curtis pointed out earlier, we can no longer make jokes at headline rewrites about Aaron being estranged from his family. That's long
a bit
gone.
bummed about that.
And that's the thing, is it takes a huge chunk of material. Now all we have is Aaron Rodgers using ayahuasca and Aaron Rodgers being old. That's it. That's all we've got to play with here. I know.
It's less material on the cutting room floor.
Think about what it means for us.
This is ultimately a good thing. Cool to see.
I guess. From The Athletics, Ian O'Connor, no, it's very cool. He gave some insight onto how the Rodgers family reunion came to be. He said they've been working towards reconciliation for a while. Rodgers invited his parents, Ed and Darla, to his high school Hall of Fame induction ceremony in April, introduced them to the crowd to applause, thanked them for their support. He said Rodgers spoke about embracing his father at a celebrity golf tournament in 2023 and expressing their love for each other, and called it a special moment. It was the first time they'd had contact in nearly 9 years. That opened the door. So this started with that kind of reunion in 2023, and then had been building to that. Continues with back in April, him having them at his high school Hall of Fame induction. So kind of been growing for a while there. At the time, this is back in 2023, Rodgers called a reconciliation definitely possible in a matter of timing. So looks like the timing is right now.
That's good, man. You need family around, and I don't know the specifics on why he stopped talking to them or whatnot, but I remember I didn't talk to my dad for a year on some petty stuff, and it was the worst thing I ever did. And as soon as we got back together, it was all love. But you know what I noticed in these pictures? I don't know where they at, but that's a property right there. So was he still financially funding them? Are they at their house? Where are they at right now? Because parents look like they are well taken care of, even though they haven't been in contact. So I hope that Aaron was still doing the right thing and taking care of his peoples, even though he wasn't talking to them.
Do you ever just see a yard and you think, God,
all the time,
golly,
all the time?
In your dream world, do you have a yard where you have one of those mowers you can ride on?
Oh yeah, my yard, I have at least 3 par 3 holes, and my daily chore is just to maintain.
Yeah, you ever play that video game where you drive a lawnmower and you mow the lawn?
No, never played it.
Curtis, you ever played that game?
Which game?
It's a video game. Matt, you've heard about this. You're a gamer, right? I don't actually know. It's where you should watch Star Wars, so I just assumed. It's where you go on a lawnmower and you go through and you mow the lawn. And it's a first-person video game.
Nice.
Where you just mow the lawn.
I've not played it, but that intrigues me.
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of the people in our audience probably going, well, wait a minute. Well, hang on a minute here. Let me get my New Balances on and play this thing. But yeah, you can just mow the lawn on this video game. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Someone says, by the way, that we need to leave Aaron alone because it's getting old.
I don't think it is.
I think he is.
I mean, he's in the public eye every week.
It's funny the battles that people decide to have sometimes with
Look,
some athletes.
If there's a dead horse, we're going to kick it. A very tough day for ESPN as dozens of on-air and behind-the-scenes people have been laid off. This is just a devastating day for the network. Notables, obviously, Bump talked about it earlier with Ryan Clark, one of their analysts, but Cam Newton also among that, Bart Scott, Tom Pelissero, which really surprised me. Clark issued a statement, which, Bump, you already mentioned it. I don't know enough about behind the scenes what's happening with this, but ESPN pays so much money to some people that you would think that they just have money to keep people.
I mean, they do this every 5 years, right? Every 5 to 6 years, there's a wave.
I think most of these layoffs, the reason given was for their acquisition of all those NFL assets, so NFL Network and a bunch of NFL Network games that now are in control of ESPN. But it stinks to see people lose their jobs. And one thing I hate about these kinds of layoffs is when people are like, you should have fired so-and-so instead of this guy. It's like, you're not helping in saying that. Like, you're making it worse by saying so-and-so should have been fired instead of this guy.
It never really, it's not coming from a good place. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make you a better person for having that guy in your corner. Like, it sucks for anyone to lose a job. And I think the only appropriate thing is to say, like, man, I really hope they land on their feet. They're talented. You're right, Curtis. It's a bummer anytime someone's like, how about this person instead? Tags them. Like, how are you making the world less toxic?
Never root to fire anybody.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners go for win number 4 in a row tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. First pitch at 6:40 on Seattle Sports. Luis Castillo on the mound. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Hype Train coming your way next.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field in just 4 days when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
And nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of the Super Bowl champs. Seattle Sports.
Cool cars, cool people, good tires. It's the Good Guys 38th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals, a giant car show featuring over 3,000 of the Northwest's finest hot rods, muscle cars, classic trucks, and more. Enjoy live music, a free family fun zone featuring the Auto World Model Car Make and Take, and Earth-Shaking Nitro Thunderfest and more. Happening all this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
So you need to have a system where if a customer wants to transact online, shop their vehicle, find their vehicle, fill everything out, and do as much paperwork even online, and buy the car online, and then come in at an appointment time so they can be in and out in an efficient time, hey, my target goal is an hour. If you want to take half those steps, just know that, yeah, you're going to have another hour of transaction and paperwork, and then you're going to have roughly an hour of delivery. Some people even want more than that because it's a lot of technology. So it's making it available so a customer that wants to go 25, 50, or 100% meet them there where they want to be. If you want to take all these steps, I can meet you there.
Lee Johnson Auto Family. The LJ Way.
Rev up for the biggest weekend of the summer. LeMay, America's Car Museum, presents Super Summer Weekend, and it's mostly free. Tons of events highlighted by this Friday night. Disney and Pixar's Cars Under the Stars drive-in movie. Then Saturday, Carson Coffee Show with Family Steam Day, featuring Super Highway 71's incredible custom-built car tracks, live demos, and hands-on fun for all ages. Don't miss it. One epic weekend. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
The countdown is on.
Just 4 days
Until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
As a reminder, it's all Mariners from 1 to 2. Shannon, Drayer kicking off the dugout. Before we get to that, in 15 minutes, less than 15 actually, we're going to continue our Seahawks training camp position previews. I was going to go safeties, but we only have a few more days until training camp kicks off. So we're looking at the whole secondary. So we'll look at the depth there, some big questions, breakout players, all of that. That's coming up in less than 15. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Mariners taking on the Reds tonight. Luis Castillo gets the start opposite Chase Burns for Cincinnati. The Mariners make it 4 in a row. Wins. Let's clarify. Wins.
4 in a row. The matchup, I mean, Chase Burns is doing his thing. 11-1, 2.5 era. Wow. But you know what? I think Luis has one of those games in his tank. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those games where he reminds people, I am the Rock. This is what I do. Last time we saw him, he had 9 hits, 4 earned, 3 bombs. It's okay. You're going to shake that off, and he's going to outduel the hot Mr. Chase Burns today. So I'm on this. 4 in a row. Here we go.
Curtis, the Mariners make it 4 in a row. Bump is boarding. Tough matchup today against Chase Burns. Are you boarding?
It's funny that his name is Chase Burns because he'll be chased from the game after getting burned so much by the Mariners offense.
There you go.
Bars. Yeah, they're going to win 4 in a row tonight. We're boarding this train. I'm going to say Cole Young has another home run.
All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing about Chase Burns. Sure, 11-1, that's fine, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. What I can also tell you about Chase Burns is that he did give up 5 runs to Pittsburgh. Now, he struck out 10, but gave up a pretty costly home run. Gave up a home run in his not previous start, but the start before that. In fact, hey, listen to this. In his last 5 starts, he's given up a home run in 3 games.
Okay.
And they've won all but one.
They've won all of them,
Bump.
actually.
Bump, let me
that's
let me
5.
cook. Okay, sure. He has gotten the win in his last 5, but, those are playing teams that don't pack a punch.
Okay.
The Phillies.
the
Brewers.
Those are both pretty good teams.
The Yankees. Oh, no.
Maybe the Mets 12-0. Gosh.
Okay, I don't think they make it 4 in a row, but I do think they take this series. I think they take the series. And
He walked 6 his last time.
And I think we see another bomb from Cal in this series.
Okay.
So I know it's kind of a bummer one, but I think Chase Burns is so good. I would love it for vibes alone, but I think what I also would like to see is this team, when they do lose, which is going to happen, respond to it and bounce back instead of going on kind of this sludge kind of, downhill thing. God, it's such a bummer answer to this. Yeah, make it 4 in a row. I'm boarding the train.
Oh, you changed your mind, huh?
It's such a bummer. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be by myself. Next up, all starters are still here after the trade deadline.
6 of them things. I think that if you want to make a move, a big one, you got to let one of these guys go. If Castillo comes out tonight and looks nice for the next few times, or maybe it's the last time before the trade deadline, honestly. Maybe one other time. And maybe he looks like it. I don't think they're going to make a big move.
Yeah.
I think they're going to work from within. So that means all these guys are going to be here. I'm not on board.
Curtis! All starters are still here after that August 3rd deadline. Are you boarding?
Passan did not sound super confident that Luis Castillo was getting moved just on his own. I feel like if the Mariners want to move him, they're going to have to kick in some cash to make it enticing for a team to take on that contract. I think because of that, I think it's a good chance we see 6 starters past the deadline. And I think at that point, you absolutely have to rip the Band-Aid off and move somebody to the bullpen. Please. I've been begging for months, it feels like, to just move somebody to the bullpen.
So is it technically a yes, but not starting?
Yes. So all 6 of them will be here after the deadline. We're boarding this train.
I'm boarding this train as well. I think that, like Bump, I did notice Jeff Passan sound less than optimistic or encouraged that they would be able to move anyone. And what I want to see is whether or not they actually have a 6-man rotation after the deadline. It's felt like a big part of this has been to keep all of their starters ready for trade if they do need to make a move. Next train in. I don't know who wrote this, but Stacy's combined airtime on Hard Knocks will be greater than 10 seconds. Bump.
Here's the thing. When you speak, it's always for 10 seconds or more. So I think that you get a couple of clips and they use them and you get about 20 seconds.
Now, does audio count as airtime or is it camera time?
Yes. Audio absolutely counts.
Audio counts.
Okay. Audio counts.
Because Brock's was audio, wasn't it?
Medium.
Wasn't Brock's audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
This organization knows success.
That counts.
They know success.
That counts.
So Brock's already up by like 2 seconds.
Really impressive, Brock. I could do that. Organization knows success. Cool. Look at me. I'm an analyst too.
Why don't you say something that you think that'll get you on right now?
Give us a hot take right now.
Oh, man. We've all been wondering whether or not Sam Darnold would remain starting with the Seahawks.
I don't think anybody has.
No, we got to give them some stuff to use.
No, they're not going to use that.
Like, no, I got this.
Everyone
No.
has doubted this Seahawks team.
No, I got it. The Seahawks probably won't make the playoffs. They're going to use because you got to give them
the Super Bowl
boards.
slump is real here in Seattle.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on. Let me think of something else here. I can think of it. Sam Darnold likes birds, but does he like the new Seahawks here at VMAC?
God.
You're trying not to get on the show at this point.
Curtis, are you boarding this stupid train?
Not with any of those examples. No, we're not boarding the train.
Everyone's doubting the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like it needs something spicier. You can't just say that. That's not good.
But they don't care.
No. No, because that's just...
And just like Mike McDonald said in the NFC Championship game, we do not care.
Do you know how livid I would be if they used that just now? Yes, I'm boarding this train. I'm going to be shameless about it. I told you I'm going to pretend to pass out. And
I'll be standing like, she's fine.
No.
She's fine.
No, I'm going to pretend to pass out, and then one of the players will come over and be, oh my God, are you okay? And then they'll want to show that because it'll be like, look how nice these guys are. This elderly woman just passed out at camp because it's so hot, and he came over.
This person wearing 5 sweaters in an 85-degree
and they came over
day.
to check on her. It looks like she's wearing men's shorts. No, sorry, she's just short.
They're gonna make a compilation of you complaining about the weather every day. It's too hot. It's too cold. Someone go get me a blanket.
Oh, I did have them do that one time.
You do that every year.
No, I only had them go get me a blanket one time. One time.
Embarrassing.
Should we do the last one?
I don't think we have time.
You're right. Last one. Matt thought about not doing it. Oreos are the best packaged snack food.
Facts. 100% on that train. Golden Oreos for the win.
Curtis.
Yeah, we're boarding this train.
Matt.
Whatever gets the segment to end quicker, sure.
Absolutely boarding this train. All aboard that one. Our Seahawks training camp position.
What? Come on, man. All right, come on. The Seahawks.
Do you want to end the segment or not?
The Seahawks.
I did
Matt,
until
you just became
stupid
sexist.
Show. I hate this show so much.
Seahawks. Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
What are the priorities in the second half? Number one for me, you got to clean it up. Start playing cleaner baseball.
Include Naylor in that. I'm going to have a lot more emphasis on him because he was a major straw that stirred the drink in their run in August and September last year.
That's fine. You can focus on Naylor all you want. I'll still be focused on, Cal, the guy who hit 60 home runs and had the greatest season ever for a catcher last year.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with the warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. You're a jeweler for life.
When I'm catching up with friends or family, C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, it's where we go. A welcoming atmosphere, and I get to see my good friend, Chef John Howie.
Hey, thanks, Brock. At C-Star, we're known for fresh local seafood, unmatched hospitality, and great value. Right now, enjoy a 3-course dinner in the lounge every night, starting at just $50.
$50. You cannot beat that value these days, and it's only with Chef John Howie at CStarRestaurant.com, CStarRestaurant.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed.
The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners took Game 1 against the Reds, their third win in a row, thanks to a stellar start from George Kirby and a grand slam from Cal Raleigh. Two things we're watching in today's lineup. J.P. Crawford was a late scratch yesterday. Julio was pulled from the game. Both were day-to-day as of late last night. We have a release date for Hard Knocks, by the way. The new season featuring the Super Bowl winning Seahawks will air on HBO August 4th.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. A Seahawks heavy hour here before we lead into the All Mariners 1 p.m. hour. The dugout starts at 1. Shannon Drayer joining us to get us started before we get to that. Taking a look around the NFL at 12:30 and taking a look at the Seahawks secondary right now. Our training camp position previews continue. We looked at the tight ends last week where Bump told us A.J. Barner will finish not top 10, but as a top 5 tight end in the NFL. We looked at the wide receivers, talking about expectations for Rashid Shaheed and how he can be better incorporated into the offense. I thought we'd switch gears and take a look at the defense. Now, because we only have a few days until the start of training camp, veterans report on the 24th. The first day of camp is officially Saturday. I combined safeties and corners. Why not? We got a good 15 minutes here to take a look at this group. So we are looking at the secondary, what they do well, where they can be better, the stars we know we're talking about, and the stars we could be talking about in a few months. Bump, give us a refresher here as to what makes Mike McDonald's secondary so effective.
Well, if we start inside, like at the nickel spot where Spoon plays the majority of the time, he's dynamic. He's not a very big guy, but you can see the effect that he has on the game. Flies downhill when it's time to make a tackle, can be blitzed, get into the backfield, mess up the rhythm of an offense. And it's just one of those guys that can deter the ball being thrown to a certain area as well because he's where he is supposed to be. Second team All-Pro this year, I believe. Second team All-Pro guy, well-deserved. He's been a Pro Bowler every year he's been in the league. Spoon is the type of guy that changes the game emotionally. He doesn't even have to make a big play. But if you make a play, if your buddy makes a play, he's right there celebrating with you. And don't let him make a play don't let him make a play on the other team's sideline because he will be barking at that sideline for 10 seconds after the play is done. Spoon has become one of the emotional leaders on this defense fairly quickly, and he matches that emotion with his work ethic. We've heard J Love talk about him, Mike McDonald talk about him. He shows up early. He stays late. He's a pro, and he's a guy that anyone in this league will want to see.
You think they're in danger of not getting this deal done before the start of camp or maybe not until much later? And if not, do you think Spoon plays? I don't want to say in the season. I think he's certainly playing for the season, but he held out for a day or two his rookie season.
No, if I'm Spoon and I don't have a deal done, I'm not practicing.
Yeah.
And it's not even being a bad teammate because a lot of people are going to assume because he's not practicing, he's a bad teammate. It's business. Just the same way that these guys will cut you as soon as you cannot put your foot in the ground and drive towards the football or catch a ball or throw it. They will cut you. So as a business person, you have to take care of yourself, your body. And if you don't have a deal done, I'm not going out there. And I don't even think they would be upset.
No.
John knows how this goes. There's been so many hold-ins and holdouts in his 20 years here. He'd be just fine.
Well, and John knows that if, and it's not personal, but like if you tore your ACL or your Achilles at practice and then had to miss a chunk of the year, we're not giving you the exact same deal we were going to give you before. Right? Yeah. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to go ahead and honor the deal that we were already working up for you. That's why players don't practice. You're losing out on, if you're a superstar like Witherspoon, millions. Imanwari carved out a really unique role in Mike McDonald's defense. Now, he's not going to start training camp out there. He can take part in team activities, but not practice. So you might see him out there stretching for some workouts, but he's not going to be practicing until he's medically cleared to return. He has a role that can't really be occupied by anyone else. But, Bump, they did go weeks 2, 3, and 4, I believe all wins, without him last year.
Yeah, they did. And Nick was the type of person that as the season progressed, the better he got, obviously, because he's a rookie. You don't know what you don't know. They were able to fill a void, and that's why I'm not too concerned now because this gives you extra practice on filling that void, right? Nick is gone, so you're going to have to rely. He's not gone. He's on the PUP.
Yeah, you can't say stuff like that anymore, Bump. We've talked about it.
On PUP. So he's not going to be out there. He's not going to be able to participate. But that just opens up room for somebody else. Somebody else got to step up. This is the name of the game, name of any sport. You pick your favorite Seattle team. Somebody got hurt this year or is going to get hurt this year, and someone's going to have to step up. Unfortunately, he's not out there, but it gives room for someone else to get some work.
Now, here's one other question I have about the safety group. Actually, I have 2 more questions before we move on to looking at some corners. My first, Julian Love, I thought for sure would be maybe even honorable mention, if not included in the top 10 of ESPN's top 10 safeties list. He was not. He was in the others receiving votes category, which surprised me a little bit. So how does someone who's already a well-established veteran, it's not like he's getting any younger, but how does he continue to be so central to Seattle's defense, I guess is what I'm trying to. I don't want to say like he can improve. He's great. He's an older veteran. He's not necessarily going to get faster than he was before, but like, where does he go from here? Because I thought for sure he'd be recognized as one of the top guys.
It's crazy. He's an older veteran. He's 28.
Yeah.
But he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 7
the
years in the game
elderly Julian Love, all of 28 years old.
Yeah, I think J Love, he's the organizer back there. And if you ever had the opportunity to speak with J Love, you would understand why I call him that. And he's very clear with his communication. He knows where people are supposed to be. That's what safeties do. They're the freelancers. They're the ones to make sure the secondary and second level where they're supposed to be. The second level takes care of the big boys in the front. I'm not surprised that he wasn't on this list because when you just look at his numbers, 23 solo tackles, 1 interception, 6 passes defended, he's not asked to be in the mix often. He's asked to stay on top and deter the deep ball and to make sure everyone is organized and lined up. That's why he's been receiving these honorable mention votes because people understand that. If you understand football, you know your safeties are big when it comes to that. So naturally, people are going to lean towards the safeties with 5 or 6 interceptions, maybe a few more tackles. You know what's great about him not having that many tackles? He played in 8 games. He was banged up. But the year before, he had 100 plus, 100 plus, 100 plus. If your safety is, for the most part, a freelancer and he's up in the top 2 or 3 when it comes to tackles, that's not a good thing on your team. That means big runs are happening, big plays are happening, and he's having to be the safety and get guys on the ground. So his numbers, he only played in 8 games, so his numbers aren't going to reflect, I think, what his true capabilities are. But he's the organizer back there.
I was going to say, I'm glad you said the organizer back there, because he's one of those kind of like, oh, he has intangible characteristics. What are they? Just like you talked about Spoon bringing a ton of energy and just kind of like this constant hunger. Julian is one of the leaders on your team.
Yeah.
He is a leader. Bump and I have watched him. We actually talked about this moment a ton last offseason, was watching him leave the field at one point, talking with both Spoon and Woolen about kind of a miscommunication that happened during training camp, immediately breaking it down, explaining to them where they were supposed to be. I mean, I couldn't overhear it, but you were explaining to me, like, this is what I think's happening. Like, this guy is, it's like having an assistant coach there with you in the secondary.
It really is.
My other question and last question about the safety group is about Bud Clark. You have him as a potential breakout candidate this year.
I do. I love Bud's game in college. He was a guy who could adjust to the football while it's in the air and make it look easy. And that's not hard to do. It's kind of like when I judge or when I break down receivers, I always like looking to see what their body control is like when the football is in the air. When you're not adjusting to anything, you can look like a great athlete. But now you throw a different factor into that thing, and your body could change. I've watched him break on a post, flip his hips to the corner, and do it with ease. And I think that is one of the best things about Bud, but also just his energy. He plays with a Spoon type of energy. I want to see what his tackling looks like on this level, because you just never know. I assume that he's still going to be a decent tackler, but guys are bigger, faster, and stronger. I know people hear that all the time, but it is real. Bigger, faster, and stronger on this level. And but I think he's going to fit right in. I think his personality and the way that he plays is great. Ran a 4.41, so he's one of the faster corners out there or safeties out there. It's more about Julian Love allowing him, if he is a starter at some point, because I assume Ty Okada is going to start the season at that spot, I'm allowing him just to play free. And when an organizer is teamed up with a guy like Bud Clark, I mean, J Love can just reassure him, hey, you got this. Bam. But hears it, sees it. Now he's going around, just flying around, having fun.
All right, let's transition to the cornerback room. And I'm going to start by talking about who's not there anymore, and it's Reek Woolen. I should have mentioned Kobe when we were talking about safeties, but we can also talk about Kobe with the cornerback room just as easily. He's kind of one of those hybrid players. But when I hear some offseason previews, I feel like Reek Woolen is mentioned a ton, which is interesting because while everyone around the league knew who he was, I don't know how many people pointed to him and said, this guy's central to what Seattle's been able to do defensively. Most of the time, it felt like people were mad at Reek Woolen for something. So what does it mean to not have Reek Woolen in this room, and who then fills that role?
Well, you don't have a guy who can make up for his mistakes off of just his ability alone. Take a wrong step this way, you're beat, but I'm fast enough to get back in phase. I'm long enough, my arms are long enough to where I can get my hands on a pass that the average guy wouldn't get his hands on. I think the knock that most people are going to say about Reek is that he wasn't the best tackler. And corners typically aren't the best tacklers, but I feel like in this defense you have to be. And that's kind of where he struggled a bit, was tackling. But there is no denying that Spoon is one of the, Reek is one of the most physically talented corners in this league. Still had 12 passes defended, 1 interception. You're missing just a freak, a guy who can make things right even when they're going wrong, especially when the football's in the air.
Now, Josh Jobe kind of took over that starting role. You've got Witherspoon, obviously, in that nickel spot. You're going to have some other guys competing on the outside. Added to this room, though, and one of the rookies we'll be talking about a ton, is Julian Neal. Tell us what we need to know about him as camp starts up this weekend.
I'm excited about Julian Neal. B. Walt actually predicted this pick. He spoke to somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and we come in for doing the draft show with Wyman and Bob and Brock, and he said, "Man, there's this guy from Arkansas that I think the Hawks are going to draft." Look him up. Guy plays with – there's a common theme with these defenders. was they play with this intensity. On defense, you have to play with intensity. On offense, you can be a bit more smooth and collected. You still need some form of intensity. But these guys, man, they want to hit. And Julian Neal wants to hit you. If he is in cover 2, he's going to stay in that flat. He's going to put his foot in the ground. He's going to get downhill, and he's going to hit you. He's a physical type of corner. That's why I can see Mike putting him in the Nick and Marori spot for the time being, just to mix things up. Because he has enough aggression and I don't give a to be in that box and play with the bigs.
TJ in the 425. Good God, Wolin is no longer with us either. Yeah, we need to probably work on how we're saying that. From the 360 question as we wrap up our preview here. With the secondary in general, do you think they might just be average in straight up coverage?
In man coverage? Or just coverage in general?
I think coverage in general. I don't know if straight up in this case they mean man coverage or they mean more broadly in coverage.
I think that about opportunity to be better, because I talked about Reek and what he does at a high level, but there are times where he's in the wrong spot. He misjudges a ball. We saw him slow down one time against the 49ers and create a big play. Sometimes he'd have those mental lapses that I think would really hurt the defense and really probably drive Mike crazy. With these new guys, or with the guys who are coming back, Job is always going to be in position. Spoon's going to be where he needs to be. J Love's going to be where he needs to be. It's about these young guys trying to figure out exactly how Mike wants them to play. I think they have an opportunity to be better in coverage because Julian Neal's played the position for a while and Bud, they're better with the football in the air. The thing with Reek is he only played like 14 games in college at the position, and those reps matter. He had a Pro Bowl season his first year, and obviously he's a good corner, but the things that Julian Neal and Bud Clark have done their whole careers, Reek was just trying to learn in the league.
All right, we are taking a look around the league coming up in 15 minutes. Right now, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, Cal Raleigh's Grand Slam helped the Mariners blow out the Reds 7-0 in Monday's series opener. Here's how that sounded.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and destroyed. It's on its way. Upper deck just short. Gold sail away. Grand Slam. Cal Raleigh. He crushes it into space. A big blast for Cal. It is 7-0 Mariners.
What's the real headline?
Cal Raleigh and my Nona crushing meatballs. In listening to that call from Gary, you know what I wish I would have said instead? Wow, unlike us, Cal Raleigh's baseball might have gone to the moon. I thought Bump would like that one.
A commentary on our space
travel.
Don't do that. Matt
gets upset when you say that we haven't gone to the moon.
He gets red in the face.
He doesn't cry. I think he's taking a deep breath. Hang on, he's grabbing his mic. Let's see what he says.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, there we go.
In both you and the public school system.
What school did you go to?
Lake Stevens High School.
Public school?
No wonder.
Yeah.
Lake Stevens.
Shout out public school. I don't know that Cal Raleigh's fixed, but I think that added to energy that I've really liked seeing for now 3 consecutive games, which we can say that.
Nah, you're not fixed off of one swing. You're fixed off of
good swing, though.
15 days of just consistency. Then I'm like, all right, it's beautiful when I look at a guy's 7-day split, 15-day split, 30-day split. And I'm like, he is in the zone. He's good right now. He can afford to have an off day. That's not Cal at this point.
No, and I also think that we've all adjusted our expectations for Cal. Curtis pointed this out. We were all texting each other yesterday during the game with like, I kind of think that we need to stop sitting on the idea of like, okay, so Cal's going to come around and then he's going to be fixed, and instead have conversations about like, what is a good version of Cal this year realistically look like, and how do you work around it? Does it mean that you add a bat when you didn't think you'd need to? Does it mean that, what's it mean for Cal? I thought that his post-game comments talking about realizing how you need to help the team were really insightful, because he's just as easily talking about himself. Hey, I can't be chasing home runs. I can't be chasing an average. I can't try to be a star when I'm not playing like it. I just need to not swing at crazy pitches and maybe try to draw a walk. Like, maybe I just need to play a slightly more humble style of baseball here because that's who I am this year. That might be okay as long as they get a lot of other stuff elsewhere. Those are the conversations we're going to need to start having here.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey says his conference has talked about breaking away from the NCAA. What's the real headline?
The South wants to secede. That's so unlike them.
If only there was a historical event.
Precedent for this.
Yeah.
Do we need to go at war with the SEC now to
Nah, man, I think it could be a good thing. Let them go off and do their own thing. SEC has power, and so does the Big Ten. Even though the Big Ten has won the last, 3 national championships, SEC is still always in the mix. You can have Bama, you can have Georgia, Texas now. It is what it is. And they don't like the Protect College Sports Act. There's a lot of things in there that they just restricts how they want to run their conference. And honestly, when we look at the NCAA, like, what do they really do to really affect college sports? I mean, there's no structure when it comes to people transferring or not, which they're trying to do now with this new act.
Definitely no
But it's kind of
structure.
like they just it's been just a money grab for them for so long. And now, since the money's being spread around, they kind of throw their hands up and saying, I don't know. So then you throw this bill out there, and after it, there's been 5 or 6 years where you've been able to do whatever you want to do. People are like, no, we have our own structure now. This is how we want to do things. Even if you don't agree with it, that's where the SEC is coming from. They want to be able to do their own thing, pay their players what they want. I get it. And if I were one of the powers that be, and it's been chaos for a while, I would want to keep doing things the way I want to do it.
Sometimes it feels like the SEC has done, or excuse me, that the NCAA has done a lot of this to themselves.
Yeah, by doing nothing.
By doing nothing, by almost intentionally, not only having like toothless leadership and rules and enforcement of things, but like enforcing them unevenly and at weird times, having too much oversight with certain things, and then almost stubbornly refusing any oversight at all as a form of protest. That's my conspiracy theory. And they've had a hand in their own downfall. If there's a downfall, I'm talking about this like it's already happened. The NCAA is still one of the single biggest organizations here. Next up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Nick Emenwari will start training camp on the PUP list. What's the real headline?
Hopefully he's on the PUP list because he's got that dog in him.
I hope so too, but we know he's had some ankle injuries, a low, a high. The ankle's been bothering him, right? First game of the year, he gets a high ankle sprain. A few days before the Super Bowl, he gets another ankle sprain. And once you start spraining those ankles, man, it is a recurring theme. It's gonna keep happening. I've sprained my ankle, baby, 20 to 30 times in my career.
What?
And sometimes it's not always bad though. It's just like a little one. You tweak it, you keep running, you get loose, and you keep it pushing. So they're just making sure that he can enter camp at 100%. If he's at 90% right now, there's no reason to push it.
Now, Brady Henderson had this to say on With Wyman and Bob.
The sense I have got so far in my reporting is that, sounds like he's gonna miss some time during training camp, but it doesn't sound like this is something that's gonna threaten his availability for the start of the regular season. I don't know that for sure. That's just kind of the impression that I got in my initial reporting.
Now, because he's on the active PUP list for training camp, that means it was a football-related injury. If there is some additional good news or a good spin to this was Steve Wyche on with us earlier.
I have been told by someone there it's not something that they're overly concerned with, so I don't think this is something that's, a surgical that's going to require something that's going to keep him out for a while. And remember, with this rule, at any point, because they declared him on the PUP now, at any point they can activate him once he's medically cleared. So he could come out the second day and be fine.
That's right. If you guys remember back in, this happens every single year, but there's one more notable instance. In 2023, the Seahawks had 3 bigger names that started on the, I'm just going to keep calling it training camp up list. It was Reek Woolen, Jordan Brooks, and Jamal Adams. They were all coming off of surgery for miscellaneous issues, and they ended up getting activated all the way leading up to the start of the season. Jamal was the latest on August 24th. Jordan was activated August 15th, and Reek Woolen came back about a week and a half or 10 days after being placed on PUP, something like August 7th or something, with plenty of time to still participate in the offseason. So that's just an example of what timelines have looked like. We have no idea what Imanwari's injury is outside of Steve Wyche saying his understanding is it isn't serious or something that needs surgery, and Brady saying that it's sure, if he were to guess, it sounds like it's a football injury, could be related to that ankle that kept bothering him. But I'm going to guess. If I have to guess right now, knock on wood, it might follow similar timelines where you still get a portion of the offseason to get some work in there. The Mariners' 50 season celebration weekend is kicking off August 7th, and Seattle Sports wants to send you and a friend to be part of the celebration. You'll get the chance to watch batting practice before the gates open and then stick around after the game for the Alumni Home Run Derby. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app. If you don't already have the app, text the word app to 866-979-3776 and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, July 27th. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. We have a release date for HBO's Hard Knocks and a trailer coming up next.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field in just 4 days when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
And nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of the Super Bowl champs. Seattle Sports.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
50 legends. One unforgettable night. Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park on Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
Arrive early to witness an epic pregame ceremony featuring the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Grill math is simple. More people to feed means more food and supplies and more reasons to save big. Get more out of summer at Chef Store with warehouse savings for your restaurant, food truck, or barbecue. Open to the public, no membership required. Visit Chef Store today.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
just 4 days.
Until training camp for the Super Bowl champs. And nobody has it covered like the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the
talked to when we interviewed him, but we know he was about his business. So that's just the cost of doing business. in the NFL. You're not going to be able to retain everybody.
I'm trying to remember what was happening at the time. Was that when someone else was getting an extension? I can't remember if it was Leonard Williams or Ernest Jones. I don't know. There was some kind of extension happening, and he just kind of slipped through their fingers with a very competitive Miami team. NBC NFL analyst Jason Garrett is unwavering in his support of Josh Allen. In fact, he thinks Allen can still be a championship caliber quarterback.
Let's go back 20 years. You're doing this show, and we're having the same conversation about Peyton Manning.
Okay.
God, he throws all these touchdown passes, but in the big games, New England knows how to shut him down.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's a story. That's been a story for a long time in a lot of different sports. How the guy can't break through. The guy can't break through. The guy can't break through. He's not good enough. And then he breaks through. The circumstances around him are better, and then he's able to do that. So Josh Allen will win a Super Bowl, and I believe he's going to win multiple Super Bowls, and he's knocking on the door.
I'd like to say something about Josh Allen in the postseason. Josh Allen in the postseason is not like a bad player. I mean, his last appearance last year for Buffalo, a loss against Denver, it still went into overtime, but he completed 64% of his passes, 283, 3 touchdowns. Yes, he was intercepted twice, and that's a big problem. But, it's not like this thing where he turns into a shell of himself, and, where did he go? He's got phenomenal postseason games. Against, the playoffs before last,
turf being the 55. So it's not enough to make people invest and change their minds. But if you're listening to the guys who actually play on that surface, you would get grass. 90% of football players want grass.
The Seahawks, The Athletic, I think, posted a column. The Seahawks play 11 games this year on turf. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, text them right now, 866-979-3776.
Swung on and destroyed.
Was this the big night we've been waiting for from the Big Dumper?
Grand Slam, Cal Raleigh.
Trying to build off of that and trying to get it wrong.
Back into sole possession of first place in the AL West. Tonight, the M's look to make it 4 straight wins in Game 2 against the Reds at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Incredible savings for 3 days only. Divers Fair only happens once each year at Underwater Sports, 107th and Aurora Avenue North.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our Bargain Barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and Bargain Barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
The countdown is on.
Just 4 days
until Seahawks training camp on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more. Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast. Can you find contractors nearby within our budget? Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes! Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to get up to $10,000. That's promo code MULTIPLY.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We just spent the entire break showing Bump a clip from Brockmire. Great show.
I had no idea.
10 out of 10.
I'm on it now.
So funny. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. Bump and Stacy, do you agree with me that Cole Young should have stayed at the number 3 spot in the order? Why is Dan Wilson? Well, okay, he's calling him a puppet, which is a little late. Dan chooses where people are going here. So, I think it's Dan that wants guys in certain places. I think that he's choosing the lineups.
I mean,
but I do think that Cole, I would
like the 3 spot though. Canzone hits bombs.
Yeah, I think that here's the thing. I've complained about lineups before. I think sometimes we complain. I would complain about a lineup if you had Canzone healthy, Cole out there, like a bunch of good hitters, and Cal was still hitting second. I'd be like, hey, let's move that around a little bit. But I don't know, you had to take JP out of the game. Colt Emerson is wonderful. I think has an amazing future. He was your top prospect, but isn't exactly raking right now. I would have liked to see Cole continue to be higher in the lineup, but you had a lot of question marks once Cal was in there at 4th. It was just kind of a, you know what I mean? Then you take Julio out.
It's a domino effect. I have no problem with it. I think that's I would have no problem with him staying in that spot and him being where he is now because, look, Cal hit a bomb last night. Naylor did have a hit, didn't drive any runs in. Cole went over, but they get on base, I believe. So it all worked out.
I will disagree with you on any kind of oh, this guy's just doing this. I think Dan creates them. I
think he has help.
Well, I think that he has help in terms of, hey, we added Ref Snyder. Let's make sure we play this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. As far as I know.
You think Dan just makes that lineup all by himself?
Yeah.
I don't.
What do you think he does?
I think he has input. From who? I don't know.
Well, in terms of, hey, we want this matchup and we like these guys and make sure you do this. But I don't think
order. I think he has help with the order.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think Justin and Jerry call him and say hey, put Cal 2.
Not necessarily Justin and Jerry.
Yeah.
There's data folks.
866-979-3776. Maybe too early to tell on a hunch, but does Jalen Milroe make the roster?
Yes.
And actually, 2-part question. Oh. And calm down. And actually have an impact with package plays, or is he traded?
I think he makes the roster. It's too early to tell with package plays. They tried package plays last year didn't work out. I think training camp will ask me at the end of training camp, and I'll have a better idea because I can observe some practices.
Yeah.
But it's too early to tell.
It is. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. What's the best East Coast city?
That I've been to?
Mm-hmm.
Probably... you know what? I really liked Miami. Miami was fire.
I've never been to Miami.
Yeah, Miami was fire.
I'm going to say something I'm not proud of.
All right.
You're going to say Boston.
I had fun in Boston. The food was great. The restaurants were amazing. It was fun to walk around and shop. And like I was in a part of Boston that was super touristy. So like there were like cobblestone kind of areas. I like Boston. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't there long enough to be annoyed by the people. I went to Fenway. It was fun. I thought Boston was pretty fun. Good shopping. It was what I wanted from a trip, which was places to eat, shop.
There you go.
Low key, yeah. I'm not like a beach person.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But it was cool walking into the water and it being like 65 degrees.
866-979-3776. What I need to know. Were you the middle child, youngest child in your family? And who, oh my God, there's so many. Who was the black sheep, obedient one, comedian, rabble-rouser / troublemaker, and bossy one?
It's not for me, only child here.
Yeah. You don't give off only child, though.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you give off older child energy.
Older child?
Yeah.
You give off younger child.
Why do you say that? I'm the oldest in my family.
I know you are. But I have to see with your sister, but I don't know, you give off like younger, excited, you know, look at me. You know,
I don't know that
you're trying
that.
to. How are you going to tell me? I'm the one observing you. You're the one who's going to faint to get on Hard Knocks, right?
So what if I do? Maybe I will faint. It's hot out there. It gets hot at training camp.
It does.
No, I'm the oldest, and if I have to choose one, definitely the obedient one or bossy one.
I can see
As a
that.
rule follower, for sure. Goody two-shoes.
I can see that.
Teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
Definitely.
Did we turn in the homework? Are we going to turn in the homework?
No. But definitely like, can I stay inside
teacher,
on
you
recess?
You forgot to assign us homework.
No, that was not me.
The syllabus says.
No.
On this day.
Mine was more like, Stacy, you really should go outside and play. And, it's okay.
I'll eat lunch with you.
Yes. Like a sad kind of teacher's pet. Oh, fourth grade Stacy. 866-979-3776. If you could be anywhere doing anything at any point in history or the future, what are you doing?
I'm going to the 2018 Masters. Is it the Masters? And watching Tiger win his last major.
Why not the earlier? Why not like 90s or 2000?
I want to see the old man beat these youngsters.
It's about the road back, Stacy.
Okay, sorry, my mistake. Oh man. Where am I? Well, I'm not going that far back. Let's be real. Let's see. I could go anywhere, anytime. I mean, what if I could go to like ancient times and be like a queen?
That'd be nice. Yeah.
But then you die at like 30 from cholera.
You would, but you would do so much in that 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I die at 30. No, I don't want to go that far back.
You had like 12 kids too by then.
No, my answer is probably going to be similar to Bump's, where I'm going to choose a random sporting event I wish I would have gone to. That's the problem with us being a sports show answering this question is none of us are going to be like, I would fly with the Wright brothers while they were inventing the first planes.
I can only go back so far before I'm uncomfortable.
Who wins more? Who wins more arguments, Bump or Stacy?
Stacy, because hey, you got it.
He just gives up.
You got it.
He just gives up. Quits.
I'm a quitter.
Someone said we're revisiting the Milrow conversation again, Bump.
All right.
Table it. Get back to it.
All right.
Better dad shoe. White Air Monarch or white New Balance?
I feel like New Balance is becoming more and more popular.
It's cool. They're cool again. I'm wearing them right now.
I'm going New Balance. I'm wearing them right now.
I am wearing them right now. They're so comfortable, but they're cool now. Like young people like New Balances.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm nervous to hear what you put together.
Yeah, you probably should be.
Is this going to get us in trouble?
Might get me in trouble.
All Mariners coming your way with the dugout. Shannon Drayer joins us next.
The following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
The Seahawks probably won't make the playoffs.
Is there anything more full of hope than a stadium of fans watching their team's first steps?
We've all been wondering whether or not Sam Darnold would remain starting with the Seahawks.
If you want to understand an NFL team, really know them, you have to know their stories.
Sam Darnold likes birds, but does he like the new Seahawks here at VMAC?
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw this Wyman and Bob digital exclusive first.
Leonard Williams, he's in the final year of his deal. Can you pay him somewhere around top of the market?
He's still absolutely at the top of his game. I don't see any kind of drop-off as far as his age goes going into his 12th year.
Beyond who he is on the field, who he is in that locker room, he's just such a leader and a presence.
The home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube now.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Wayscar Ford is celebrating their 104th birthday in Auburn. How's that possible? It's all about the people, employees and customers just like you and me. The Wayscarf Way, 104 years of service, trust, and community. Wayscarford.com. That's wayscarford.com.
Rev up for the biggest weekend of the summer. LeMay, America's Car Museum, presents Super Summer Weekend, and it's mostly free. Tons of events highlighted by this Friday night. Disney and Pixar's Cars Under the Stars drive-in movie. Then Saturday, Carson Coffee Show with Family Steam Day, featuring Super Highway 71's incredible custom-built car tracks, live demos, and hands-on fun for all ages. Don't miss it. One epic weekend. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Look, I need to be real with you for a second. At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families cannot afford the food their kids need to heal. Think about that. A child recovering from surgery, learning to walk again, and the family is struggling to put food, nutritious food, on the table. That's why Safeway and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba are launching the Food First Project, a multi-year initiative to fight pediatric food insecurity right here in our community. This is not someday maybe talk. This is grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs going directly to families the moment the need is identified. No barriers, no red tape, just help right now. They're funding vitamin D screenings, nutrition support for student athletes, rehabilitation feeding tools, and meals for hundreds of families staying inpatient at the hospital. I love what Safeway and Seattle Children's are doing, making a real difference where it matters most. JSN showing up. Now it's our turn, 12s. Put food first. Learn more at Safeway.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners took Game 1 against the Reds, their third win in a row, thanks to a stellar start from George Kirby and a grand slam from Cal Raleigh. Two things we are watching for today, though. J.P. Crawford was a late scratch yesterday, and Julio was pulled from the game. Both are day-to-day. Meanwhile, Brendan Donovan is scheduled to make a rehab appearance for Everett today. First pitch scheduled for 7:05 p.m. We have a release date for Hard Knocks. The new season featuring the Super Bowl winning Seahawks will air on HBO August 4th.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is The Dugout, taking you inside your Seattle Mariners.
Swing and a miss, and he got him with a slider.
Presented by Top Fitness.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Swinging a shot over the bag at first, fair ball. The Mariners win it. Here comes Leo Rivas to score. Cal Raleigh with a walk-off single.
Time to grab a seat and talk Mariners baseball in The Dugout.
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer joining us now to kick off The Dugout. And Shannon, I was listening to you ask a couple questions post-game, in this case of Cal, but obviously a few questions to Dan and some other guys included about the energy and what feels like maybe some different body language, not just good vibes with this team, but something a little intangible that wasn't there before. Are you sensing that? Where do you think that's coming from?
That was really interesting. I talked to Victor Robles down on the field after the game yesterday, and he is like one of the prime energy guys, and he had a very Victor Robles game yesterday. And I think that helped bring it a little bit to the forefront. But then to have Cal Raleigh comment on it the way that he did, I think was really important. And Cal has been, I think, layering the different things that he sees that this team needs. A few weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago, it was, we need to play 9 innings of baseball. And then he was talking yesterday about the importance of the energy and also the importance of, playing for the team and not just yourself. And he did allude to that perhaps there was some sort of talk, or they'd been talking together. I don't know if that was an organized team meeting type of situation or if that's something that they have been doing just amongst themselves. But you definitely felt a little bit of a shift, and maybe that just comes with winning and getting off of the road and getting Julio back, and all of a sudden being back at home where it's just the most comfortable place for you, not just to come to work every day, but, the fans and the energy that the fans have been bringing all season long. It's been incredibly impressive. They're tapping into that now a little bit, it would seem, and it's a time that I think that you would expect it coming out of a break where we didn't do what we wanted to do in the first half. Something has to change. What is it? And I think that was one of the things that was pointed to. But I think even the bigger thing was play for the team. Realize that if you do everything right, that if you're moving the runner and not so worried about maybe what your batting average is today, then good things, and this has always been Cal's belief, he is a very big believer in do things the right way, and it's all going to work out at the end. But this time it's a little bit more active. I think he's telling people we don't sit back and we wait for it, we go after it. And I do think that there have been conversations, and they've looked around because who would know better than them what's missing? They've been there when things have been clicking, when things have been going good. They have been there in the second half. They know the difference between a second half and a first half in that clubhouse. So to me, it really appears that, there's some good, tough, hard conversations amongst themselves. And, okay, this is where we're at. And the other thing that I heard that I liked, and I've heard this from time to time, and the first time I heard it, I don't remember exactly what year it was, and I think it was coming up on the trade deadline, and it was Ty France that I asked, and I was like, hey, what do you think you guys need? And he looked at me and said, what do you mean? And it was the belief that he had in that team that he couldn't imagine adding something at that point, and that's how strong that belief was. And every teammate that he had on that club. And I think you've got that. It's not to say that they shouldn't or they're not going to do something, but I think that's a really good feeling to have rather than keeping your eye on what could happen. Then, no, we like what we have right here, and we know that we can do things. Well, now they're being challenged with, okay, let's do them.
Shannon, after hearing the explanation, I understand why Dom was walked to get to Cal, but even after hearing the explanation, I understand it, but I felt just so disrespected for Cal. So I'm happy that he came through clutch in that moment. What were you thinking when you saw the bases jacked for Cal?
Let's go. I mean, it was 35,000 people there, on their feet cheering. It definitely had the October vibe. It definitely had the vibe that Cal has probably had at the plate so many times that he has stepped up to it in big situations at T-Mobile Park. Now, he hasn't come through in most of those situations this year, but you just had that feeling, and that was probably not a good move to make. And I was absolutely astounded at how quickly it happened after that. There was not too much time to think about it because next thing you know, there's a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, and Cal did not miss. But to me, I mean, it was just one at bat. I don't know how much that changes things for Cal. We'll see. But it was great to see him get that feeling back. And if he was a little bit angry, if he was a little bit disrespected and that led to something, fine. My guess is he was stepping up to the plate mostly with, I've got a job to do here, and then couldn't believe the pitch that he saw. And I wouldn't take that for granted. He's missed that pitch a number of times this year. So, maybe that's what gets him going. Maybe that was the Raleigh disrespect that we'll be talking about in 2 months. We shall see. A surprise, yes. Eye-opening, yes. But also look at it as the potential of something very good could come out of this.
I like the way that Bump described it earlier in the show when we were talking about what to expect from Cal this year. And like you, I think we were like, yeah, I don't know that we're going to see a great version of Cal this year. But Bump said, can we see a Cal who's a good leader and who gives you some moments? And I thought that's a great way to try to measure like what success is for Cal. And going back to some of those comments you were talking about, Shannon, and again, and watching you in that post-game press conference, it sure feels like sometimes when Cal's talking about the team, he could just as easily be talking about himself. And I'm sure most of the time he does mean it as something for himself as well. Do you think that he's had to kind of adjust not just his expectations for himself, but maybe like what he's chasing? Like, I can't be trying to get a certain number of home runs this year. That's just not who I am right now.
Yeah, and what struck me with that was it seems like that realization is pretty recent. With all the struggles he's had, and I mentioned how strong his belief is, I think that's something he's had to come to terms with a lot more recently, and the fact that maybe I am too wrapped up in what I'm doing right now. And I think so many times when things like that happen, you don't even know you're in that place, and maybe the All-Star break is what he needed to step away and going home and maybe talking to Dad a little bit. We don't know if that had anything to do with it as well, but maybe just being back in that place and getting back to what is his foundation for a few days had him looking at things differently. I found that very eye-opening, the comments that you're talking about. And yes, I think it's only natural that what is good for him is going to be good for the team, not just because he's kind of the guy, but also because he's the leader. I mean, he is the one that is willing to pull the entire group. He is the one that is willing to set the tone, to set the expectations, to vocalize them. So, he's not going to ask anybody to do anything that he's not doing. He's the first one who has got to do it and realize it. And to me, yeah, exactly what you're saying. That was for him. That was for the club. And, honestly, that's a pretty good place for it to come from.
I was surprised when they took Julio out. It didn't look like he got hit too hard by that ball. Any updates with him?
No, we're not going to know anything until we get to the park and, possibly see Julio, or we might even have to wait until we talk to Dan Wilson or see a lineup. We've learned that you don't know anything until the next day. And Dan said it's nothing. He's good. But, we'll see where he is tomorrow. He said that he hit the bag hard. He also got hit. I don't know how much of it was a caution thing. And when I watched the replay of it, to me, it wasn't that he was kind of grabbing the back of the hamstring area, like, oh my gosh, what have I done? It was more like, I feel something here. That's what it looked like to me. And I think they saw the same thing. Hopefully that's all that was. And Dan said there just really wasn't a lot of time to make a decision. And we thought that was the best decision, err on the side of caution and get him out of there. So we're just going to have to wait, hold our breath on that one, because I really do think, and when Stacy, you were talking about the energy, I think a lot of that comes from Julio, and that's a big, big piece of appreciation that I took out of being without Julio for an entire road trip. That was very much missed and very noticeable that was not out there when he was not out there.
Bump and I have been, as we inch near Seahawks training camp, kind of talking about, okay, if you can't get this guy, or if JSN won't give you this, or if this guy gets hurt, who might give you more than you're expecting? And I kind of wanted to apply the same lens for the Mariners, even though, Shannon, they're well over halfway through the season. But the reason I'm asking is that Cal is clearly not giving you the home run total we thought you get from Cal. Julio has missed a little bit of time with energy, and I think he can still very much turn it on. But who's a candidate for you where it's like, look, they may not get what they thought they would from this guy, in this case Cal, but man, is this other player surpassing expectation?
Well, we've talked quite a bit about Cole Young, and he's on an upward trend. And it's not just what we're seeing with our eyes. When you talk to people around the league, they're seeing it too. They're very impressed with the direction that he's going in and what he could be. And he's well on his way to it. Very impressive what he has done from the end of last year, a disappointing end of the season for him, where they told him to sit down, to showing up for spring training, having addressed everything and more that he needed to, and his progression throughout this year, where he's had some ups and downs with the bats, but they haven't been too prolonged. And that, to me, is just the key. You've got to shorten them. When you get into that, it's how do you get out of it? And he's figured things out along those lines. And, you know there's more power in there. I'm not asking for anything more from him. I just want him to keep doing what you're doing. You have been developing very nicely at this level, which we can see is a very, very difficult thing to do. I think the most important thing is going to be, it can't be any one player. It's got to be it's got to be a game like we saw yesterday. It's got to be passing the baton. It's got to be not trying to do too much yourself or trying to always be the hero. It's got to be, what can I do to get to the next guy and get the next guy in, and so on and so forth. And that's something that Cal talked as well. And as we've been saying all year, clean baseball. And then lean on that pitching. I don't think it's going to be a matter of a couple more home runs from one guy or another. I think it's going to have to be a complete and total group effort.
I saw a play yesterday, Shannon, that got me excited. It was almost a double play, Cole Young to Emerson. And I'm like, there's a future right there. I'm tapping my son. I'm like, that's the future of this ball club right there. How cool is it to see those guys kind of build chemistry together?
Love it. Absolutely love it. And I know Cole needs to be up, higher in the order right now. It was kind of fun to watch them when they were back-to-back a couple of times, and Colt Emerson was hitting a little bit more. But the baseball acumen, the fielding, you see it all. And, that was just pure flash, which was great to see. And I don't think any of us had really either of them pegged too much for that. I think that, Cole Young, I think we were thinking was going to be a decent second baseman, and he's been amongst the league leaders at the position all season long. And then Colt Emerson was one of the eye-openers in spring training when we really got a chance. It's one thing to look at what his hitting numbers are on paper and from afar, but to get him in front of you, playing the number of games that he played in the spring and seeing, he's legitimately a shortstop. And then to see that he's able to make those flashy plays, or almost make them, or at least get to do the right thing at 21 years old exactly last night. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun to watch the two of them, and it's not something that we've seen very often, particularly on the position player side, on the hitter side, that you've had two young ones that close together with the potential that they both have, and, one that's already established himself a little bit.
She is Mariners insider Shannon Drayer. Pregame show starts at 5:30 tonight on Seattle Sports. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
You got it, guys.
The Mariners' 50-season celebration weekend is kicking off August 7th, and Seattle Sports wants to send you and a friend to be part of the celebration. You'll get the chance to watch batting practice before gates open and then stick around for the game and the Alumni Home Run Derby. To enter, all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, July 27th. You're listening to The Dugout, all Mariners from 1 to 2. Aaron Goldsmith joining us at 1:30. The latest from Jeff Passan coming up next.
Swung on and destroyed.
Was this the big night we've been waiting for from the Big Dumper?
Grand Slam, Cal Raleigh.
Trying to build off of that and trying to get it rolling.
Back into sole possession of first place in the AL West. Tonight, the M's look to make it 4 straight wins in Game 2 against the Reds at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts Thursday at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Incredible savings for 3 days only. Divers Fair only happens once each year at Underwater Sports, 107th and Aurora Avenue North.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Coming up in 15 minutes, Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith, and then Alex Mayer's joining us at 1:45 with some interesting numbers from last night's Mariners win, their third win in a row, by the way. Taking on the Reds today, 5:30 p.m. pregame show, 6:40 p.m. first pitch, Luis Castillo on the mound. The latest from ESPN's Jeff Passan, who was on with Brock and Salk earlier today. He was talking a bit about the trade deadline, and I'll start by taking a step back. Now, if you were listening to us earlier, you heard this one already, but I really, really like this cut. He was asked whether or not the Mariners should go for it.
Yes, absolutely. And they went for it last year without really giving up a whole lot. I think it might cost more this year. But when you've had the run that they've had on drafting and developing guys, you can never rest on your laurels, but you got to take advantage of that. It's there for a reason, and that reason is to get the first ring in franchise history.
And it hasn't been the season the Mariners have wanted, but there's still a chance to get something done in a very competitive American League.
There are finite periods of time for any team to go out and take advantage of what you built. And even though the Mariners have been hovering around 500 all season long, and that there's a realistic scenario in which they don't make the playoffs, an untimely injury here or, poor performances there, and suddenly this is just a wasted season. But I think likelier is that it has a chance to be a really special season. And that's something that when you have the organizational depth that the Mariners have built at this point, I don't mind chasing and I don't mind getting a little loose on.
Bump, I think that middle part sticks out to me. There are finite periods of time to take advantage of what you built. I know that there's temptation to look at still a really strong farm system and really young players, even players who are with the club right now, like Colt Emerson, and go, oh my God, you have so much to love about this club. What about 2027? What about 2028 or beyond? Sure. When Cal Raleigh's in his 30s and when your pitching staff isn't totally here and who knows what they all look like. And, oh, you mean so add 3 more years to Brian Wu and Bryce Miller and George Kirby and Logan Gilbert, and you don't all have them on those team-friendly deals, by the way. And, oh, by the way, any pieces you might have now that you still really like, Randy, not going to be here. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the perfect team. They're not. It's okay, but they're not. Are you guaranteed that there'll be a World Series team in 2 years? I don't think you are guaranteed that. Take advantage of the situations you have now.
You got to be in the moment when it comes to the Mariners. You can't think about the future too much. You have to plan for the future a bit because of, having control and all that good stuff and age. But when it comes to this team right now and what's happening around them in their division, why wouldn't you want to go all in right now? Even if you're not performing to the way you want to. And, I had to check myself, too, because they were 50-50 at the All-Star break. They were 43-47 the year before at the All-Star break. Only 3 games difference, but it feels a bit different, right? And they will do something. This one, it feels like, all right, you're underperforming, and it feels like after listening to Jerry and all those guys talk that they're not really going to push to do anything because they feel like they can build from within. I look at what's going around, and I believe that they can play better. They will play better. Therefore, I'm saying with the condition of the AL and how you're still in the mix, you haven't played well, you have to go do something.
Totally agree. I'm glad you mentioned the condition of the American League. Tampa Bay sits atop the American League East. The New York Yankees are holding that first wild card spot. Their run differential, has dropped to 88, and I know that that's still quite a bit. It's certainly more than the Mariners and a number of other teams, but it wasn't like 150 or 130. I mean, their offense has taken a tumble without Aaron Judge, who they may not get back this year. The Rangers are now in second place behind you. The AL West has been way too close for comfort, but it's been a really weird playing field with a number of teams struggling, including struggling offensively. And I just think that we tend to do this thing. I'm using we as like royal we, where it's like, oh, but these pieces will be good. You're not guaranteed. What do you mean? You cannot count on prospects you have now always working out. There are plenty of prospects that haven't worked out where we went, oh, this guy's going to make you so good, though. You have to take advantage of the situation you're in right now. And it was Jordan Schusterman, who was on with us last week, who said, look, last year's team offensively was better than this one, period. This year's American League, might be more competitive. There's not a single team that is so far and away better than everyone else in a really obvious way. The Red Sox have won 14 in a row after looking like they were going to be out of the playoffs, and that came with a series win against the Rays, who have otherwise been the most consistent team. Everyone's struggling. Let's take a listen to Jeff, though, talking about the players who are here. Bump, you said, look, they do need their own guys to play better, too, and that has to be part of what happens here. You're right.
You know, when I get asked what do the Mariners need at the deadline, the answer is for their own guys to be better. That's the reality. I think when you look at this team, you know, would it be nice to have a right-handed hitting quarter outfielder to be what Rob Refsnyder was supposed to? Yeah, of course. That would be nice. There are just not a whole lot of those available.
So they may need to turn to doing as much as they can for the bullpen and hoping that if it's not Cal turning it on, then it is Cole Young continuing to perform or Colt Emerson working his way out of a bit of a rut. Julio being healthy and in the lineup, bringing that energy and bringing that power.
Yeah. It's, it's the same story that we've had for the past couple weeks. If these guys can only play better and you're searching for, you know, these indicators. Robles won, 4 for 4 last night, I believe. Is second or third 4 for 4 game? I don't know if they count that last one as a hit, but, yeah, close to being 4-4. You had Cal, who did his thing yesterday. Contributions all across the yard, but it's like that's been your main ingredient this whole season, and it hasn't really worked out for you. You haven't really got everybody clicking at the same time. So it's how long do you wait for it all to click, or do you try to give some sort of jolt of energy? And that could be Donovan joining the squad, even though he hasn't had a great past few days down there in the minors. Is it still relying on Cole Young to outperform? At this point, I just expect Cole Young to do it now. I'm a believer 100% now in Cole Young. It's a patient game that you have to play with this team, but you got to have that sense of urgency at the same time. And how do you do that? Trade deadline, you see what's out there. What if they just went and got an arm? No bat. Would you be all right?
Yeah, I would want to see something else offered because as encouraging as it was to see what Cal did, I don't think he's going to suddenly turn it on. And so there is some power that I think you're still desperately searching for. That either it comes from an unexpected place, like, oh my God, Cole Young has 30 home runs this year, or you just add someone. Or Donovan comes back and hits the ground running, but I think that's a lot to ask, coming back from injury and missing this much time. I just think they need help offensively.
How much help? And what are we willing to give up to get that help? Like, is the help out there? That's the tough part. That's
tougher.
You got to wait until the night before, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be a down to the wire thing.
You know, to see where the help is and if it's actually out there.
The best guys available are going to be arms, whether it's the Padres reportedly being willing to move on from Mason Miller, whether it's the Tigers who may move on from Tarek Skubal or Mize or a number of other guys. It feels like arms are going to be kind of where it's at, but there may be some other pieces out there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those as we inch closer toward the deadline. Coming up next, Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Cole Young, he just comes up clutch.
Afternoons 2 to 7.
Game's on the line. Say you're tied, 2 outs. Who do you want up at the plate right now? At this very moment after 100 games, who do you trust the most up there? For a young guy in his first full season, he's had some big moments already.
Cole Young's only 22, so it's really exciting for the future.
And by the way, the only player on this roster to play every single game.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st, or relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. You can find tickets at snocasino.com and the full lineup, plus experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this season. Ask about a designer-led complimentary color consultation. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
Fast Home Services is a 5-tool player. One call for it all. Water heaters, plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical. Dave Wyman here, and the same Seattle company that's handled your hot water since 1986 is now handling everything that keeps the house running. One number, one team. Home field advantage for your home. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate, or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
We have values. We live those values. I think that's the best thing that this company has for it, is its reputation of taking care of people.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith joining us now. Aaron, how's it going?
Bump Stacy, great to be with you. How are you guys?
We're good. Happy to have you, especially coming off back-to-back-to-back Mariners wins. Let's get started with last night's win, and especially Cal's moment. I feel like he badly needed that, Aaron. You can just kind of feel prior to certainly this game, but in other moments, that the weight of expectations and of not meeting them was certainly weighing on him. I don't know if it means Cal's fixed, but I think that the energy in that dugout was very, very obvious. Were you surprised to see Francona? I know he explained it, but were you surprised to see that decision from him?
Well, absolutely. I understand like just the basic math, the numbers of it, and it does make sense. Although Canzone doesn't have a long track record, certainly, of hitting lefties, he has held his own, to say the least, against lefties dating back to last year. And Cal's had great struggles this season. So I get it. It was a situation where when I watched it playing out, when I saw the home plate umpire trying to continuously tell Canzone to go to first base and him not understanding what was happening, in my mind at the moment, I thought that I had the wrong pitcher in the game. Like, I knew that Caleb Ferguson, who's a lefty, was on the mound, but then when I saw them putting Canzone on, I thought, oh my gosh, is it not Ferguson? Like, did I miss
You
the
thought,
new
God,
arm?
I'm such an idiot. Let me get this right.
Yes, like I always assume that I'm wrong and the people in the uniform are right, for obvious reasons. And then it was a kind of a stream of consciousness, as it was with Dom, I'm sure, when he was walking to first base, like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing this. Like, that's a gutsy move And you got to have a lot of skin in the game, like Terry Francona, to say, yep, that's what I'm going to do, because that doesn't happen very often. But you're right. Coming off this season from Cal Raleigh, where all it was a season of moments, like you couldn't keep up with them. There were so many of them. That hasn't been the case this year. That was a moment, no doubt, for Cal Raleigh and for the Mariners. And hopefully, now that doesn't mean he's going to go hit home runs in 10 straight games, but hopefully that starts some kind of a snowball effect, because that was a pretty monumental home run for a lot of reasons.
And the way this game was played, I told Stacy, I was like, they better have won at least 5-0. The way the Reds were just kicking the ball everywhere, throwing it in the dirt. It was just like a sloppy-looking game. And it was refreshing for them to be on the opposite side of that. We've seen games where things aren't clicking for the Mariners. What does a game do like that for this team's mental, even though, the Reds didn't play their best ball, but they still got a 7-0 win?
First of all, I talked to my son when I got home, who's 11, and he asked me, did Arroyo get an error on that? And I said, now, first of all, you can't assume the double play. And second of all, this is why errors and fielding percentage, they can tell you something. They don't tell you everything. There were a lot of miscues for the Reds last night that were not errors, right? But they were not sound defensively, no doubt. But off of the statistics tangent for a moment, yes, it was wonderful to see the Mariners have really just an all-encompassing game, right? The opposing team made mistakes. The Mariners took advantage of them, whether it be through sheer hustle or quality at-bats that followed said mistakes. And then it's really hard to think of great Mariner wins historically, or not even historically, like this year, where they don't have big home runs. And they certainly had that last night. And great starting pitching, obviously. That's the formula. That's been the formula for the Mariners for half of a decade at this point. And so when those things line up, when you get great starting pitching, you get timely home runs in particular, good things happen for this team, and it certainly did last night.
Aaron, I was struck on the broadcast. You have the call, wonderful call, and then it goes down to a little bit of reaction from Ryan in the dugout. And one thing that you guys kept talking about was some of the energy that was very obvious. Now, granted, this was about the dugout being excited for Cal, but this is less a question strictly about Cal and more about body language and energy and tone. You're around this team, and one thing Bump and I have felt from afar, certainly from much further than you are, is, God, it feels like sometimes there's just energy or excitement missing. And I get it, underwhelming season, but I can't tell if maybe sometimes you just need to fake it. Have you been sensing more energy in a bit more of that in the last several games?
Well, a couple of things come to mind on that question. First of all, I don't think there's anything that can make a team in any sport look worse than in baseball when you don't score runs. Maybe in football, not stopping the run, right? That's a really bad look and sucks a lot of energy out of a team. But in baseball, when you're just not scoring and when you're having a really hard time scoring, your team will just look flat. It doesn't matter what else is happening. You could have 7 shutout innings. Your team will look flat if you have 2 hits through 7 innings, bottom line. Second of all, when things like that happen that you're referencing, I always think back to a conversation I had many, many years ago with Mike Flowers, and he was telling me what it was like in the dugout in the Kingdom back in the day when Edgar was hot and Bone was hot and Junior was hot, right? When your big players, your big bats are doing big things, that's the best form of energy, from as far as I can tell, for any team in baseball, because that's who you need to be hot. It's that simple. The Mariners are in a really fortunate position where you can make a very simple case. They have 4 big bats, right? Guys who are on billboards, guys who have been to all-star games, guys who have hardware on their mantle, from Cal to Julio to Randy to Naylor. They got 4 of them. What they need in these final 60 some odd games of the rest of the season, they essentially need 3 of those guys to be guys. Now, they're not all 3 are going to be hot or swinging it well at the same time. But of the 4, for the next 2 months, can 3 of them roughly at a time be doing things that they have done before, that they themselves expect to do? Everyone's going to have an 0 for 10. Everybody's going to have a bad 2 weeks. You can't have all 4 or 3 of the 4 has been the case this year for most of the time, be underperforming for 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time. So when that happens, that creates energy. That creates wins for the ball club. You start to go on a heater. That's how the Mariners won 8 in a row earlier. That's how they won 15 straight, a few years ago at this point. And then the complementary pieces do what they do. So that's how you get energy back. And we saw it firsthand last night. Cal Raleigh hit a grand slam. That's the greatest energizer any team can have.
Every now and then, respectfully, I see a name and I'm like, who? Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. And lately, and I say respectfully because I was probably that guy when I played for the Hawks. So like, who's that dude? But Weston Wilson, every now and then it just pops up, and I'm reminded who he is. In the last 3 games, he's been contributing. What's it mean for a guy like him just to be called upon every now and then and step up and perform?
Well, for any player like that, a bench player for any team in Major League Baseball, your opportunities are few and far between. And that's been the case this year and at times in his career as well for Weston Wilson. And all you hope for is that when your name does get called, like Buddy Kennedy last night getting a start at third base because of a lefty on the mound, you just hope you can contribute. That doesn't always mean it's going to be a hit. Maybe it's a great defensive play. Maybe it's something on the bases, whatever it is. I would imagine that when you are part of a 26-man roster and you're near the bottom of that roster, right? You don't have a ton of service time. You haven't had lengthy stays in the big leagues. You just want to contribute in any way you can. And for Wilson in last night's game to unexpectedly come off the bench as he did because of the injury to Julio and to be able to contribute like he did with a run batted in and what at the time was a very close game. I mean, that's a nice call home to somebody on your drive back to your house if you're Weston Wilson, because those are the nights that you have to hold on to, I would think, as a big leaguer, because the game is so hard, especially when you're not playing every day. So good on him.
In your calls, I know that you have to be incredibly prepared for a number of different scenarios to happen. So I don't know how much of it is just purely off the cuff, but sometimes I feel like you can hear a moment where you might genuinely be laughing or genuinely reacting, going, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. What player has given you that feeling most often this year where you just go, well, okay, I guess?
Some of those things do. That does certainly happen sometimes, mostly on just very fluky, almost unbelievable kinds of plays.
Sure.
Certainly. Like Josh Naylor had a single in Miami that was like 48 miles an hour off the bat that split the left side of the infield and landed for base hits miraculously.
Right.
But yeah, this has not been a season by and large for the Mariners of a ton of like wow moments, where last year was very much like that. I think this year, a lot of what you're talking about has especially come on the pitching side. I mean, we've seen, even last night when you're watching George Kirby throw 97 up and into Ke'Bryan Hayes, who is not a great big league hitter, certainly, but to see a guy who's been in the big leagues as long as he has to have a swing on a pitch like that almost ripped his nose off. It does those kinds of swings and those kinds of moments from the pitching staff. Last night it was Kirby, could have been anybody else, as we know. It does make you kind of have a reality check every once in a while and go, man, we really are spoiled to watch what we get to watch every night, because for most teams, they would be begging to have a George Kirby, let alone like 4 or 5 of them. So it's been very fun to see a intact pitching staff this year, by and large, for the Mariners, especially in the rotation and all that they've been able to accomplish. Because if not for them, where would the Mariners be right now?
No kidding. Mariners broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith. Thanks, Goldie.
Thanks, Goldie.
You got it, guys.
Coming up next, Mariners stats and information's Alex Mayer.
Swung on and destroyed!
Was this the big night we've been waiting for from the Big Dumper?
Grand Slam, Cal Raleigh!
Trying to build off of that and trying to get it rolling.
Back into sole possession of first place in the AL West. Tonight, the M's look to make it 4 straight wins in Game 2 against the Reds at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness big sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from Big Wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Mariners stats and information's Alex Mayer joining us now. And Alex, I always wonder if there are some stats that you kind of left on the table and you're thinking, God, if only this would have happened. I had one ready. You had one ready if Cal were to hit a grand slam from both sides of the plate. How underwhelming to not have that happen. Shame on Cal. He did hit one, but tell us what we were close to seeing here.
Yeah, so for those that weren't watching or didn't see last night, Cal obviously homered from the right side of the plate. Former Mariner Caleb Ferguson, and then he came up to the plate with the bags loaded again from the left side of the plate. Got an RBI and a fielder's choice, but I looked into it, and if he could have gone deep again, he would have became the second player in Major League history to hit a grand slam from both sides of the plate in the same game. Only guy to do it was Bill Miller for the 2003 Red Sox. Uh-huh. He did it on July 29th, 2003, and that's the same day Cole Young was born.
Goodness
wow,
gracious.
God, I'm so mad at Cal now.
Goodness gracious.
So many you could tie the Mariners to honestly anything in baseball. It's
seriously.
Kind of amazing.
Hey, Alex, wasn't there a time, there was a game, I believe Cal was in Boston and he hit a bomb from both sides of the plate and he became like the second or third catcher to ever do that? Am I doing my best, Alex Mayer? How am I doing?
Yeah, Bump, you're really close. He was actually the first catcher in the 112-year history of Fenway Park at the time to homer from both sides of the plate, which is amazing. That was in May of 2023. I remember being on the road trip and finding that gem, and it was especially crazy because a guy that Cal pretty much looked up to as his favorite player, switch hitting catcher Jason Varitek, caught for the Red Sox for over a decade, and he never even did it. So you're on it, Bump.
Here we go.
Speaking of Cal hitting that grand slam, when was the last time we saw something like that for the Mariners where – because I couldn't believe that they walked Dom ahead of him. We all know, including Cal especially, that he's been struggling, but I still thought, like, God, that's so disrespectful. What was your reaction to it? And then when was the last time we saw anything like that happen for the Mariners?
Yeah, we were kind of looking at each other in the press box. Some of the comms folks in the press box and writers, we were all kind of looking at each other like, is this really happening here? They're walking as good as Canzone's been this year. They're not taking the left-on-left matchup. Anyway, I went and looked, and the last time a Mariner was intentionally walked and then the next batter made the other team pay with a grand slam, it was Franklin Gutierrez 11 years ago today, July 21st, 2015 at the Tigers. And the last time it happened on the very first pitch after an intentional walk, a grand slam that is, it was Henry Blanco in 2013, and he was also a catcher, just like Cal.
Nice. There are some things that surprise me in my workplace, especially during the Seahawks season, right? There's always something that surprises me, whether it be a play, a random stat. We got NASA Chobe feeding us stats over there. He does a great job.
Nice.
What has surprised you about working in baseball?
Yeah, this is my 11th year in baseball, 6 with the Mariners. I've been blessed with some amazing memories and, what I like to think of as the best era of Mariners baseball in franchise history, really, and hopefully that continues to be the case. I think the thing that's most surprised me about working in baseball is just how day-to-day everyone is. It's pretty crazy in a 162-game season. It's not just 17 games where one game can make or break your season, but if you go on social media, you wouldn't know it because it feels like every game is the biggest thing in the world. We rattle off 3 straight wins and 4 out of 5 we're going to the World Series, and I don't have to tell you guys what it is when it's the opposite, but I think it's important to look at the big picture when you look at the baseball season over the course of 6 or so months. But also on the flip side, for better or worse, I love how emotionally connected the fan base is to this Mariners team, and it shows with the good or bad.
In those 11 years, what have you come to maybe appreciate or respect about a lot of the players you've covered, even more than you did before?
Yeah, these guys are obviously making a lot of money, so I don't think they need a pity story, and they get to play baseball for a living. But at the same time, this is all a preface in saying that, these guys are human too. It's definitely a massive undertaking and sacrifice to be on the road for as much as they are and, to be away from their families. The families make some trips, but a lot of these guys have little kids with their wives or significant others. So I think it's definitely a major sacrifice. I think being a professional athlete in any realm is, but the baseball season is just such a grind that it really is a major sacrifice on their part.
I saw something I haven't seen before yesterday. I saw Robles jump halfway over the fence to talk to the bullpen. Then he runs out to center field. And then I remember Arroyo trying to tag up on him. He throws him out. I saw the most personality I've ever seen out of Robles yesterday. Is that typical? What have I been missing with Victor?
Yeah, I think with Victor, the personality is kind of always there, but I definitely think when he's playing well, it comes out even more. You could probably say that about a lot of different athletes, but when we acquired him from the Washington Nationals a couple years ago, he hit 328. He went 30 for 31 in stolen bases, and he was just totally electric, almost single-handedly brought the Mariners to the playoffs, even though they came up just short. So I think he has plenty of personality. You may have remembered on a ESPN Sunday Night Baseball broadcast a couple years ago, we mic'd him up, and he was talking about his pet monkeys in the Dominican Republic and how they're not allowed to come to the United States, I guess. But, plenty of personality out of Victor. He's the best.
Looking to another Mariner here. When the season started, I think some people had some concern about Andres Munoz. I don't know if they were like, God, did he have too many innings last year? You know, he's giving up quite a few home runs. What's going on here? And even though the ERA of the bullpen and the starters, for that matter, continued to be great, I think it just once again lent another story to kind of, oh my God, what's happening this season. We have not, though, seen a bad version of Munoz. In fact, we've seen a very, very good version of Andres. What do you think has been kind of behind that shift for him, going from a slightly shakier start, it's all relative, for him to some really solid outings? And then also, what's a fun stat you have for his last 2 outings in particular?
Yeah, he's been dynamite. His last 12 outings, he hasn't given up a run. He's had 18 strikeouts in 12 innings. He's definitely looked like the 2-time All-Star that we know Mooney can be. I think, you know, I don't know if I have a lot of data to break down in terms of what's made him better than earlier in the season, but I definitely think his confidence is up. It seems like he was maybe a little shakier in some early outings this year, but he's definitely more confident now. And I'm glad you asked about the last 2 outings, because I had some coaches come up to me and ask, and I found that since MLB's tracked it in 2000, so we're looking at the last 27 years, Munoz is the only pitcher to do what he's done in each of his last 2 outings, and that's 2 outings of 9 pitches, all strikes, all outs. Basically, you know, just 1 batted ball short each outing of an immaculate inning, both times an immaculate innings, and 9 pitches, 9 strikes, all strikeouts. But Munoz has come about as close as you can to an immaculate inning without doing it.
We got one more?
Yeah.
I'm tripping. I'm looking at the wrong clock. We're 56. My bad, Alex. All right, so what do we expect tonight, man? You got Burns on the mound tonight. He's been hot. Tell me about this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Burns just signed kind of the big, like, young guy extension, a little bit like we did with Colt Emerson, or I guess more like maybe Julio, who did it when he was also a rookie. But Burns is nasty. I mean, he's 11-1, 2.5 ERA, made the All-Star team. So I'm looking forward to watching him pitch. But more importantly, Luis Castillo on our side faces former team in the Reds. I don't have to tell you guys, but when we acquired Castillo at the deadline in 22, it was such a jolt for this team. Helped. I don't even want to say help, but basically catapulted the Mariners into breaking their postseason drought. So that's exciting. And then tomorrow's matchup features Emerson Hancock, the Georgia Bulldog for us, Brady Singer, the Florida Gator, for them tomorrow. So I'm hoping we have a cocktail party in honor of that rivalry in the press box.
Hoping we also see a couple wins to round out this series. He is one of our absolute favorites, Alex Mayer. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, guys.
This has been The Dugout. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Swung on and destroyed.
Was this the big night we've been waiting for from the Big Dumper?
Grand slam, Cal Raleigh.
Trying to build off of that and trying to get it rolling.
Back into sole possession of first place in the AL West. Tonight, the M's look to make it 4 straight wins in Game 2 against the Reds at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen wherever you are on the Seattle Sports app.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Ask your Bryant dealer to maintain your current system or install an energy-efficient Evolution system. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. Whatever it takes.
Wayscarf Ford is celebrating their 104th birthday in Auburn. How's that possible? It's all about the people, employees and customers just like you and me. The Wayscarf Way, 104 years of service, trust, and community. WayscarfFord.com. That's WayscarfFord.com.
Right now is a good time to try to save money, and one of the easiest ways to save, taking the First Mark Challenge. Mike and I took the First Mark Challenge a couple years ago, and we have saved thousands of dollars since then on our insurance. Here's how First Mark Insurance works for you. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for you and your family. And when you need them and pick up the phone, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark Insurance year after year. So take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation. And you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them, and I'm one of them. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? No cost, no obligation. They simply show you whether they can find you lower premiums, better coverage, or both. Your savings start tomorrow. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-44